Alrighty, welcome back to Curse Break. No, wait. So hold up.
No, no,
Start
no,
again.
that's
Suck
Sunday.
my balls,
I'm not going
Strahd!
to lie, when I set the name of the session up, I did put Curse Breakers and I had to wipe it away.
Oh, see, that's what
So
happened.
you're not
Got
alone.
vampire on the brain.
See, I got confused with some of the playlists when I was setting this up for YouTube, so don't mind me.
Let's try this again.
It's all gone. Cool. Alright, yeah, let's go
Welcome
from the top.
everyone to Witch Hunters, the Baba Yaga's Dancing Hut campaign. We're currently in the Fey Dark.
Thank you. So, and the last time they were in the Feydark, they had pushed their way through into a complex system of tunnels and fungi. But they pushed their way through these kind of frozen spores. The temperature got lower and lower until they found themselves near a frozen lake. Then there were the bones of a great serpentine-like creature seen beneath. You know you needed to get these to get back Kane's nose senses. Their sense of smell had been dulled over the years. Poor old dog. But you needed to somehow get down to them. With a quick testing of a firebolt, you lit this ice up, and a creature emerged from thin air. This Kotal, which is like a celestial creature, it's like a serpent with wings, appeared, and their fangs were like jagged icicles. The creature then swelled down and seemingly defended the bones. You obviously worked out that there was maybe some sort of potential reasoning to this creature, that he wasn't just going to attack them. So you spoke with it, and it spoke back, determining that it was here on a quest with its former mate to find their queen of the Winter Court, who had gone missing. A number of Archfey have also gone missing, and the Oberon is one of them. And it's ever since sort of Titania's death that this has happened. Either way, it seemed as though after kind of discussing, you realized that there was a similar happening on the material plane, where Raziel, who is Tanner's deity, has also gone missing, and the Feywild being a reflection of that plane, kind of makes sense that there would be mirrored scenarios going on. Unfortunately, though, as for Fey, they are very stuck in their ways. They are they are bound by their pact and their words. Part of the reason why Fey can't really lie. They can dance around the truth, but speaking against it is strictly impossible. So, you had to somehow untangle this web. The idea that they were here to protect the bones, but the protection of the bones means they can't transfer into a rebirth, into a cycle where the Fae return to energy and then are reformed again, kind of stops them from their ultimate goal. And in a way, I think you kind of broke that cycle by stating that you're kind of going against your first cause, your first bond, and that is to the Feywild, to serve the Feywild. And in the end, she allowed you to see the bones, and Kane was able and effectively char them as well. As it seemed like Ember had enough of this conversation and just let loose a wall of fire, completely melting the ice, and it was quite the show of force. Kane's senses was returned, and they immediately went back onto the hunt, seeking down some aberrant force deep within the Feydark. And before you left, you asked the Kotal if they would be willing to join them in a quest. After all, if by helping Tanner on his quest, he might then end up finding his deity, and by that means, maybe she will find hers. So, says Zuze, the Kotal transformed into their Eladrin form, and has been accompanying you guys ever since. Mim showed up, and he led you to the Pentacreek. There was a strange puzzle of flavors that you had to overcome by feeding these water weirds their preferred taste. And in the end, you managed to get all 5 of the Hydra's heads to appear, and they showed you a way, the way that you, um, hopefully a way that's gonna open up the senses of Cain. And indeed, he does seem to be following something. He's getting closer. So we kind of left off there, didn't we? And you've also got the mushrooms that Mim turned into poisons. What did he create in the
Yeah.
end? Created malice, and I think he created a oil of slipperiness.
Yeah, I've got 4 doses of malice, 1 oil of slipperiness, and a hell lot of mandrake roots.
Perfect. All right. So with that, then you set off, after gaining some supplies, and you're heading upwards. Mim has said his goodbyes, and yeah, let's drag you back to the Fade Arc, Matt. But is there anything you want to be doing or talking about whilst you're making this travel?
Yes, absolutely. I have something, but other people can go first. Yes,
No,
I don't want
I think you've been meaning to do this for a couple of sessions, so why don't we finally get around to doing it? So, Ember, go ahead.
I just try to, get Tanner's attention. I imagine we, as usual, Grizz and Dia are kind of in the front. We're in the middle, and I just try to want to, Tanner, listen, this is, we're in pretty deep here.
Mm-hmm.
Tanner,
Yeah.
hey, Tanner.
Yes. I'm here.
We're in pretty deep here. How do you feel about all of this? I don't know if this isn't good, Tanner. I got some serious concerns for our well-being and the longevity of all this. Perhaps we should just get out of here.
Why? We've come. Well, we're still here because we need answers. Dia needs answers.
Yes, of course. But I
I
can't
too
help
have
but
some
shake the feeling that
questions.
there's a deception. That there's some kind of that we're being conspired against in some manner. Tanner, and I look around. Whereabouts is Nissa? Is she near me or?
Nissa is probably just flitting around, but probably seeing that you're seemingly trying to have a private conversation. As much as she would like the secrets to trade later, she will give you your space.
Okay.
And probably be sitting atop Kane's back if she'll want to.
These fairies, I'm not so sure, Tanner. Okay. Well, Tanner, you remember we when you, Di, and I, and Grizz and Brago, we first set out, and we encountered Mary, Cherry, and Barry, right? They seemed kind of fun. We had a nice night. We sang and danced and played some music, and then we set out. And then you remember what happened, Tanner? Tanner, how would you feel as a protector if you were protecting somebody and they abandoned you in the worst set of circumstances? Do you remember the Foglings, Tanner?
Yes.
Does that not concern you? What happened there? Are you sure that they have our best interests in mind here?
You mean with the Foglets?
Well, no, Tanner. The fairies, Tanner.
Yes, but when we encountered the Foglets, you mean the fairies ran away
and left us to die, Tanner.
Yeah.
Without any.
Okay. We'll take myself for an example. He kind of gestures to himself, kind of clinks his armor, rustles the sword at his hilt, points to the shield. I am ready for a fight.
Sure.
I have been trained for a fight. Okay. And now you have that picture in your head. Think of your local baker or your local merchant. They have their whole life based around charisma and talking to people. Do you think they would be able to stand up in a fight, or do they depend on others?
Well, they would employ a merchant would employ guard. A baker would have the town guard or some other
Okay, we'll call it.
protection of
We'll say a
sorts.
peasant instead. Okay.
Well, a peasant would die, Tanner. Peasants are just
No,
peasants for
a
a reason. They're
peasant would
they're,
run
they're
away.
lowly.
What I'm
Oh,
trying to say is those fairies were
yes,
not
they are
trained for a
cowards.
fight, and so they did what they're supposed
I
to do and run away.
no, Tanner. I think that they were quite capable of handling themselves. Look at Nissa. Look at all these fairies.
I'm looking
Look
at
at the
Nissa
fairies
and
that.
I'm seeing somebody who's been trained to deal with this.
What about the ones that shot mushrooms? They all have tricks, Tanner. They're tricking. I don't think you see clearly here, Tanner. We're being
I
fooled
think-
and manipulated.
I think what you're trying to ask me is, do I trust Nissa? The short answer to that is no, but that's because I don't trust anything that happens in this place. However,
Right.
she is
We have-
working alongside Dawn. Dawn is a big part of why we're here. We need to keep
Dawn
a
may have
level.
answers. Okay.
We need to stay level, Ember. I'm starting to think that you don't. Ah, forget it. Let's just move on.
Fine. But don't doubt me, Tanner. Don't doubt me. I have our best interests at heart. Always. I will make sure that we succeed, or at the very least.
I
Listen,
don't
Tanner,
doubt or distrust you, Ember. However, I do doubt your stability.
What
And he walks on.
the hell does that mean? Fine. Let's go.
Whoa.
Oh man.
Oh,
I will continue on.
On the opposite,
That was perfect. What does that mean?
on the opposite scale of that, Suze is remaining calm and silent throughout most of this travel. And as they go, they kind of leave this kind of frosty patch wherever they walk. As they're passing over some moss, kind of like breezes over slightly. And she catches up to you, and says, "You say your quest here is to destroy something, end some evil here.
well,
Some
that's part of it.
part? There is a greater part?"
For
Ah, yeah.
us, there is, yes. Sorry, go ahead and ask your question.
I recall you mentioned something. You were asking about the darkest places here?
Hmm.
I do
Yes,
not know.
hmm?
I do know of some darker areas here. Most of them we avoided ourselves, but ones there are ones here that perhaps have dark thoughts, dark mind.
Are
We
these
encountered we encountered some, what shall we say, locals? Yes. They did not seem very sane.
hmm,
Tried to reason with them, but they only saw us as a threat to them. But I'm afraid we had to end their life.
do you think individuals like that would still be here? Do you think that has passed?
I do. There
Hmm.
are still more out there. They seem to speak in a maddening tongue, but I felt like there was some sort of message hidden within them, some sort of secret they were trying to tell me. Perhaps dangers of the road ahead. But one of them mentioned of a dark place. That's why I thought I'd mention it. But I thought
Did they?
perhaps at the time they were talking of a dark memory or a dark past.
Mm.
It is difficult to ascertain their words. They were not speaking coherently.
The trouble with our quest right now is, for me at least, I don't think we know what we're looking for. We're looking for something that belongs to the void or was created in the void. But whether that void is just the dark and lack of light, or is it something in the mind? I
Hmm,
don't know. There are many types of darkness in this place.
indeed.
Will you tell me about these dark
Creatures.
creatures you knew?
They were short, stout, some of them bearded. They had tools of iron. They were digging through the earth. But they didn't seem to
Mm.
be searching for something. They just seemed to be digging, whether out of habit or delusion. But when we found them, they they attacked, thinking us as some sort of monsters.
Mm. And did they ever say what they wanted? Why they were here?
They spouted many words. Even trying to recall them hurts my own mind.
Mm.
But they spoke of torture, of torment, a pain that they have endured. I don't know necessarily whether it was even directed at us. Perhaps in their delusion they saw us as something else. But there was a fear in their eyes, a fear of having their world or freedom taken from them. I sensed almost an animalistic, primal need for survival in them, like a cornered animal.
Creatures who had already suffered through something.
Indeed.
You said that you thought they were trying to communicate with you? What does
Yeah.
that mean? How did you know?
Whenever we said something, they would respond in turn with a jumble of words. But it seemed as though they could only manage to say certain things. It was almost as if it was either half a sentence or a backwards cryptic message. And in the midst of battle, you do not have time to decipher such things.
Of
It
course.
was only after the adrenaline was blood from my body that I pondered their dark sayings. Hard to remember such babble.
Hmm. Did you ever find any answers?
Mm, not really. Just that there was some dark place here that they had heard of and that they had seen. I do not know whether it pertains to your quest or not, but if we come across them, well, Perhaps, unlike me, you should ask questions first before. Well, we'll see.
Of course. Do you remember the words they said specifically? Any phrases that were repeated?
She's gonna roll an intelligence check to see if she can.
Hmm.
Because it's a bit of a strain on her. No,
Hmm.
as I say, they were mostly jumbled, babbling words.
Well, thank you for telling us. That's, well, one more thing to ponder, I suppose. Do you have any idea where this dark place would be? If it's a physical place?
She thinks for a second and looks down at the ground. Well, only only that maybe the darkest places are at the lowest point. But even then, I have seen that some bioluminescent mushrooms even grow there.
Yes.
Difficult to determine just how deep the Underdark or even the Feydark goes. But one would think that the furthest point from the light, the darkest.
Hmm.
The Feydark has more tricks than just a simple kind of space. Who's to say that the deepest places are even, you know, the deepest on a map? If it pertains to the same nature of the Feywild, then the deepest might be the closest place. There is no up or down, left or right within the Feywild. I would suspect much is the same with the Feydark. Their space is not relative to one another. It exists in a different thought or emotion. That is why I thought perhaps these creatures with their dark thoughts were speaking of that dark place. Perhaps they are from it, or have seen it.
I wonder. I.
Still, it's not a thing to worry about. We may not even come across them. And as you are approaching, speaking of bioluminescent mushrooms, there does seem to be a tunnel up ahead, which is incredibly steep, and it goes up and turns around and curves to the right. But it does look like it's ascending. And also marching on it is Nissa in the front, right?
Yeah. I'm probably doing the
Okay.
scouting, if anything.
I'd
I'll
be
tell you
behind
what.
Tanner.
You can arrange yourself on here, actually. That's the easiest thing to do.
I'll be up front. Bow shoal.
Okay. Go ahead and arrange yourself then, however you'd like.
Yeah.
Uh,
For some reason.
Probably Kane would be next to me because he's tracking. Ember
Alright.
probably behind me. I can't move Kane, but
I'm gonna guess this is here talking with you at the back there.
Yeah.
Alright.
Nissa! Are we lost? We've been walking for hours!
Lost!
Do you, ha-
Lost!
do,
Lost!
do you have any concept of time?
What? What do you mean? Yes, of course I have concept of time, but it's hard here. Everything feels like forever. I feel like I've been here forever.
Forever!
Yes.
Forever! Forever!
What's
Well,
that echo?
There's
you're
actually
in
an
an
echo coming from Cameron, so kind of works.
you're in an underground place. If you don't expect an echo, where would you expect to find one? But that being said, remember.
Nissa!
Up. Zip it. I'm trying to explain something. Zip it.
Flames just light up in his hands a little bit.
Remember, your emotional state affects things down here. If you start complaining and thinking it's taking forever, it will take longer.
But I'm tired.
Yes, well,
Let's get this done.
you complaining isn't going to make it go any faster. We will be there when we get there. If you want to stop and take a rest, you're more than welcome to. I will not be doing so.
Let's go.
But considering the last time you went off by yourself,
I just grab hold of Ember's shoulder, just keep him next to me.
It was like this in the hut as well. But at least there was enough to keep him distracted.
Not you too, Grizz. Not now.
I've already done.
Did someone make Grizz more clever or something? He seems to be talking like as if he has a concept of what he's saying. It's very unusual.
What?
Yeah, exactly, Grizz. What? Let's go.
Oh, you're in front of me. I'm waiting for you to move. There you go. Okay, so as Nissa, you whiz around the corner. Yeah, these mushrooms are giving off a soft blue light, and it is cold down here. And the webs, there are
Watch your
some
step,
like
Daya.
webs as well.
Yep.
Spiderwebs.
Is that a mole?
Is that a mole? You hear Nissa say at the front.
It
And
looks like a
as you go
mole,
around the
but-
corner, it looks like one,
but
except
its nose is open.
right. I mean, some moles do have open noses like that.
Really?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Very-
there's like the star-nosed mole, isn't there? But that
Yeah.
looks more like tendrils, and it looks
Something
kind of
there, Nissa.
It doesn't
yeah.
sound like the what's it? Doesn't sound like Kane is giving off any sign that this is an aberration. As Kane comes around the corner, he doesn't seem to growl or anything, but he does tilt his head and kind of look like he's crouching down, trying to remain hidden. However, this mole creature is kind of looks like their snout is buried deep within some mushrooms at the moment. Sort of like going through them, sniffing and munching down on anything that looks tasty.
Ember's going to deliberately not step on mushrooms like I try to whenever possible.
Now, does this look like a creature that Nissa would have run into before?
You can roll a nature check.
Yes, the skill I should be good at, but no.
No, you've not been this far from the usual area in the Feydark that you've traversed. So, and you've heard that there are hundreds more different species and races that are still yet to be discovered by you. It doesn't sound like you know this, whatever this thing is.
Can we tell if is it just digging for something to eat, or is it, trying to run away? Is it hiding? Is it just hanging out?
Is it setting a bomb?
Yeah. Is it super suspicious? Like keep looking over its shoulder?
Nissa's going to just sort of flutter nearer to it to see how it reacts.
As you flutter, it doesn't seem like its hearing is all that good, because it still hasn't noticed you. And because you're hovering, it means it doesn't really activate its tremor sense either.
Do I have anything I can do?
Oh, enough of this. It's a simple mole. I'll just bring up the animated shield and I'll just smack the hilt of my sword against it.
Okay. As soon as you do, its little snout pulls out from the mushrooms with a squeal. And it sounds like almost like a pig as it begins to turn around and run away. and it's scampering and clawing against the soil, trying to gain traction as
Ah,
it
what an
does.
awful
See,
creature!
that wasn't so hard now, was it?
Kill it, Tanner. It's loud.
It was just trying to get its dinner.
I know, but it was
That's
getting
squealing. It's
all of our group out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um.
oh,
I'm pretty sure I shouldn't be able to see that due to the dynamic lighting, but
Mhm.
Suddenly
Oh.
you feel the earth shake and shudder
What
as
the
you
hell
send
was
this little
that?
pig, as you send this little mole squealing around the corner. Suddenly, something much larger starts
Oh.
pushing
Oh.
its way through the earth.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What is a?
and
this
that
one-
is and this is
Tanner, what is going on?
kind of attack.
Yeah, that's all it
Like,
is. You scared the piggy. You've upset Mama. Or Daddy. We don't know. We don't know what it is, but it looks terrifying.
Why am I
Right.
like this?
no, that's
It's
good.
very
That's,
unlike you. It's unlike you to go and read it
It was.
immediately on the attack.
But he
It's a
did it.
small, helpless, little fuzzy creature just minding its own business.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Well, I just wanted to
Dog-
make it like
dog
skitter
mole.
away,
Juggernaut.
It did skitter away.
and it went to
Unfortunately.
Mama.
Yeah. So this thing. Alright, so this is at the top of the round.
Initiative. Hang on.
Nissa.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
You just round the corner when you see this Goliath creature with spines and claws and a set of snarling teeth come round the corner.
Just sort of moving about on the spot, sort of area. Does it seem to be aware of me?
Oh yeah,
Because-
it smells you.
Okay. But
Pardon me. Jesus. Sorry.
can it see
Hello?
me?
No.
So do I get advantage? Is my question.
Good question. I'll tell you what. What's your passive stealth?
My passive stealth is 16.
Then yes, you're invisible.
Okay, let's rock and roll. Let's start this off. We might as well start off strong. Let's go. On Carraro.
Oh boy.
Encore, do you want
Don't
more?
forget to target it.
Jesus.
Oh, I forgot to target it.
That's fine. I'll do the damage. Jeez, man. Roll. So yeah, nice crit to start us off for the first roll of the night.
Let me just remember, because I can't remember if my Gloomstalk extra damage is on my third attack or if it's on any of my attacks. If you take this, you can make them. Okay, no, it's the third attack. Okay, so that's my Encore arrow. That's target thing.
Encore. We've barely even begun.
Does a 17 hit?
17 does indeed get a good shot between its kind of like spines. These like interlocking spines seem to be very protective, but you kind of fire in between them and hit it right in the flesh.
Okay, third attack. Pretty sure 26 hits. And
Yep.
let me roll my Dread Ambusher extra damage, which is an extra D8. I don't have anything set up for this, so I will just roll it and it's only an extra 1 damage, barely anything, but
An extra one.
unfortunately +1 arrows are indestructible, so hopefully I can get them back once we kill this thing.
Okay. The dog mole's turn, the one that like squealed and ran away. It's going to. Oh,
I should have bonus action. And I don't want to waste my spells on a common enemy.
all these mushrooms have kind of grown in like soft soil, and as you see this dog mole burrow its way down, it completely submerged in the ground, and you don't know where it's gone, but it might pop up at any moment. So that's going to take its movement and hold an action. And we continue down to Tanner.
Great. Cool. Yep. Very well. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So Tanner's going to get up in the face of this thing and boop it. Oh, in fact, bonus action, Thunderous Smite. Why not?
Oh yeah, go for the sound thing. Something that's probably got sensitive hearing. I like it.
As you want to get in the face of it, I shall show you exactly what the
Divine Smite, Divine Smite, Divine Smite, Divine Smite.
Oh boy, here it comes.
Okay, right, so
This is what you're seeing up close. That's right. Those are knuckle dusters.
I saw, yeah. Okay, how do I do this? So click to I can't click. Click to apply up to 36 damage to select a token. What's the one where I just roll for damage?
What do you mean when you roll for damage?
Where it's just saying damage fast, but I've also got 3 tokens.
Oh, you've already done it. You've already done it. 18 damage.
Oh, 18 damage. Okay, right.
He wants to add Thunderous Smite and Divine Smite to that, right?
Yeah, so Divine Smite. Your
Okay.
controlled actor, Tanlin, has more than one item with the name.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just roll the 2d8. You're clicking the feature. You just want to roll d8.
No, I'm clicking my macro.
Oh, your macro. The macro has no power here. You'll need to use. You just need to roll 48, I think. That is if.
Right.
Oh, there it is.
There's one, and then I'll just click damage fast again.
Yeah, that does it.
Okay, so that was a 14 and a 10.
Yeah, that's
And
all
then
applied as well.
Searing Smite.
It was Thunderous, wasn't it?
Sorry, Thunderous. Thank you.
God, good lord.
So that's
will also be
4d6. I'm just gonna fucking type in /4. Oh, the ones. Gross.
Okay, still, it's a truckload of damage. I need to add that. No, that one didn't go quite. An extra 8. My God, you bloodied it already.
I just realised that was only my first attack.
Oh wow.
So second attack.
It's at this point my held action goes off as well.
Okay.
Another dog maul appears, or is it the same one? Questions. But it immediately emerges from the ground underneath you and bites into your butt. For 20, because it's flanking 23 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah, you take 6 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
Yeah. Damn right. And you know what? Have a claw back as
Oh
well.
my god.
Have a claw back. Oh god, what? That's a... What?
Sorry, 66 on a claw attack.
Yeah, challenge rating 1, everyone. Cool. Alright, well, you take 22 points of piercing damage as it crits you with its claws as well.
Okay,
Straight
yeah,
across the Achilles heels.
that hurt.
Yeah. Anyway, continue. Your second attack. You've
Great.
got another target now, at the very least.
Yeah, that's not fun. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Just attack the top one again, I guess. And I'll do another Divine Smite. Because fuck this thing, it needs to die.
Yeah.
Oh, it really annoys me that my macros aren't working.
I'm not sure why. You might need to fiddle with it on the break.
It's just
But-
annoying because it keeps on hiding, so I have to keep on like revealing it
padlock.
and then hiding.
Use the padlock.
Okay.
There you go.
Right.
Cool. Alright, so that's an extra 9. Yeah, this thing is looking really rough already. You've done so much damage in the first round. Okay. So Suze is all the way at the back of the marching order. Doesn't even know what's going on. She's going to try and make her way there.
Demons!
No,
She
just
realizes-
moles.
She realizes she's not going to get in range for anything on this turn, so she's going to use her action to transform on this turn. And while she's doing that, the dog mole juggernaut is going to have its way with you. It is furious that you have just seemingly come around. You've scared its little youngling, and even after that, you just came around the corner and started hacking at this thing. All right. Doesn't look like there's any going back now. This creature bears its claws down on you. And, yeah, good luck. 20
Miss.
to hit, miss. Wait, 22 with the flanking bonus.
Oh,
I will bend luck with a reaction.
thank you.
Seeing my paladin friend in trouble, I will spend 2 sorcery points to bend.
That will make it a miss again. All right. The claw goes wide, just in the nick of time, as it seems as though something in the air twists and warps this tunnel, just for a moment. After that, gonna take its jaws and charge towards you, biting at your arm. This is a miss.
Miss.
Okay. Well, you've... Hold on a second. One second. Powerful build. Nope. Okay, that's everything. Yep, that's everything. You're able to evade and shield, and perhaps some luck from an extra planar power. Who knows?
Thank you.
But Aya, you are up.
Okay.
Help him, the demon!
I'm gonna charge up and I'm gonna deliberately stomp on the floor much more loudly than I would normally do to try and make a little bit of noise and distract them. And yeah, I'm gonna go right for the juggernaut. Let's swing a two-handed quarterstaff. 18 to hit.
That is a hit, and you
That is
did
a hit.
10 damage.
All
Oof,
right.
Okay. You're going.
All right. Can I stunning strike and I have it make a constant saving throw?
Okay. Stunning strike.
Ooh,
Oof.
no, that's gonna
Plus
pass. All right.
11.
God.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's not
It's a
cool.
hardy creature to live down here in the Underdark.
Okay. Well, let's just flurry of blows it then.
Okay.
21
That's
to
another
hit.
hit. And if you could, try and target it for me as well by holding.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, Chris, there was an
And the other
additional
one
thing
is
for Thunderous
17.
Smite, by the way.
There was a what now? Was it blinded or something?
No, it was
Knocked
pushed
prone?
away and knocked prone.
Okay.
But it
Well, it
needs
would
to
have got
make it.
back up.
It needs to make a strength saving throw, but yeah.
Yeah, it would have got pushed back if it did fail and then got back up and ran towards you.
Hmm.
Okay. So hold on, I'm just checking all the damage here. 10 from that. 7 from that. Okay, so yep, it's and how much damage on the last one? 8.
If it hits, yeah.
17 does hit, yep. But it is
17
on its
does hit? Okay.
absolute last legs now.
Okay.
Yeah, you beast is winded, wounded, and it's falling over, stumbling into the wall. Does not look long for this world.
Okay. With the open hand technique, with that last flurry of blows, I'm opposing that it can't take any reactions until my next turn.
Okay.
That's so
Yeah.
they can act but not take reactions.
I'm
As
sorry,
of
Jane,
this
you
peg,
have
didn't you have a
multi-attack.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
you have a second court staff attack you could have done?
You have multi-attack at level
Oh,
5.
oh yeah. Oh, yeah. guess I do.
Guess you
Alrighty.
do.
I go. Sorry,
Nope.
Mama. 16.
That's a hit, actually.
Okay, 6 more damage.
Kane, 6 is what you needed. How do you finish this thing off?
This is very, very clinical and farmer-like. They go, I'm sorry we had to do this. Whack.
On the
And
head.
just right on the head. Very simple.
Yeah. Bonk, you hear its skull crack, and the beast collapses to the ground in a pile of mushrooms and soil. Embers go.
Alright, very, very simple turn here.
You hear a squeal from the
And it
baby.
badly misses the dog.
Yeah.
It's Grizz! Help me! Get that off his back!
I'll
It's
grab
cutting
it.
his face up!
I'll move up 20 feet. Head over Grizz's.
Grizz has to dash. I'm afraid that's the only thing he can do. Because he's at the back. Kane is also somewhere back here. And also has to dash. So we're back to Nissa.
Okay, so Nissa is going to whistle to get her arrow back out of the big one. And fire it into the... which doesn't do any damage because it's already dead. And then fire it into the little one who... Am I still invisible to it? Because I'm floating.
To this one as well, yes you are.
Okay, just checking for my advantage.
Oh wait, I just realized these mushrooms are giving off light. Oh well, it's fine. It's still a hit.
Yeah, so that, and then...
Aren't they still blind though?
They might be. They have little tiny eyes. If you zoom in, you can see them.
And that's another 8 damage.
He's an angry boy.
Yeah. But those eyes do look blind, so they've got like the clear milkiness.
True.
But yeah, so...
They do have. They do.
It's got a turn. I'm gonna have to... It's this bonus action. Remembering it's this bonus action. Remembering what stuff on my sheet is bonus action. Yes, it is. Okay, haven't used any spells, so let's bring this thing out of my low. The pound, and then target fade, I guess, and then
You want to target Tanner with it?
yeah, Tanner,
Cool.
and then
If you click the healing in the channel whilst targeting him, it should heal him.
it says the dice roll evaluation failed. The dice roll formula did not. Yeah, not quite sure what happened there. So.
Oh yeah, I don't know what that is actually. To be perfectly honest, that may have messed up. I still think I'm trying to iron out.
4 healing for.
Okay, cool. And after that.
Oh no, wait! I couldn't have done that. Bonus action to call back my arrow.
Ah yeah.
Ignore me.
Alrighty, no worries. So
Yeah,
you can do that next time.
that.
So Tanner's still on 9 HP, and this dog mole is going to squeal in ferocity now that its parent is dead, and it bites and claws at you, Tanner.
No.
Yes.
No.
Miss. Nope. It's fighting back tears. Too emotional to go on. After that, it's going to use its movement to go directly down and burrow into the ground.
Attack opportunity?
It does, yeah.
Oh.
That's a miss.
Would also provoke from Grizz and Dire, wouldn't it? And Kane.
Yep. That's a hit though. And the bite. Okay.
And
Kane might have advantage on that with pack mentality. Maybe a crit? Maybe?
True.
Maybe?
It didn't.
Damn.
You also attacking?
Daya?
No,
Mm,
I'm gonna let you guys take care of this. I'm
Okay.
not.
Okay.
All right. There are some good hits on this creature as it starts to burrow down, but Kane is unable to grip it in its jaws. Too strong, and it busts free and goes into the soil, into the earth.
And this is just like, well, fortunately my arrow can still come back to me, because otherwise I'd be pissed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Tanner would be up after that, but you've lost sight on your target.
Yeah, I'll just hold an action for if it pops up.
Okay. And then Suze kind of looks down, waiting for it to emerge. I think this thing has moved on. I doubt it's going to fight to the death.
It's
Very
a demon!
well.
Hideous creature! Destroy it! Where'd it go?
She uses her action
And-
transform back.
Everything that is ugly to you is not a demon.
That's not why. Look at it. It's got claws and unnatural growth and tattoos. Look at it. Look at it.
It belongs here in a way that we don't.
I don't think so.
It's a creature of the Fey Dark. Have you ever been to the Underdark in the material plane?
The
I'm
what?
sure there are...
What?
Oh
Well,
my
whatever
God,
it was anyway.
How do I know more about your own plane of existence than you do?
Well, whatever it
Yes,
was,
sir,
it
look
did a
at it.
number on my leg, so I'd
Yes.
like it if we can sort that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, first things first, I'm going to whistle to get my arrow back to rip it out of that thing.
Are we
Okay.
still in initiative, Chris?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
The arrow comes drilling out of the earth.
Does the 8 damage finish it off?
No, it doesn't. It actually
Oh,
wasn't even
shame.
bloody.
Yeah.
But I don't see it wanting to fight on. Not
Yeah.
after that devastating display.
And then I've only got the healing, so I will then cast Healing Spirit, and I get to use the healing 1 plus my spell casting, which is plus 4, so I get to use it 4 times. I'm going to use it all on Tanner. So have 32 HP back.
Oh,
Nice. Oof.
yeah, you ended
That'll
that
do.
fight so quickly with the
And then
double crit.
And then I'm going to go over to Mana and pull out my 2 plus 1 arrows.
Okay, so +1 arrows lose their magic after being fired.
Oh, do they?
They
Which
can,
makes it...
there's still an arrow which you can get back, but
Yeah.
yes, magical ammunition is only one once they're fired.
I thought that was only if it was fired from +1 bow that the ammunition became normal.
That's why I was surprised you were shooting with the. I'm like, oh, you're going big here.
That was a big creature that I didn't know how strong it was.
I ain't questioning your judgment. That's good.
Well,
That thing was kind of
So
nasty.
can I get those 2 arrows back?
You can get the arrows back. Yes,
Oh, they're not magical now.
they
so
are. I'm
that's fine.
afraid. Yeah, they are. I'm afraid non-magical now.
Ember,
That's
is
fine.
there anything from that creature you can gather?
One sec. This is very curious. I wish Tyro was here. He would know more about this. The Arcanists are always into demons and studying things like this.
I'm going to inspect the creature. Is there anything that looks like it might help us on its body? Is there any.
Okay.
The
As-
knuckles, maybe? I don't know.
Only because you're looking over the body is when you suddenly see the creature like suddenly move and shift in the soil, and it begins to dig down, just sifting earth using the disengage action.
It came back to life.
Or it was playing dead.
I wonder if it was possuming. Yeah.
I've not seen a creature do that, but
It doesn't die until the end of its next turn.
So maybe it's still dead. Oh.
I
And you
don't.
see this creature just.
I looked down the
bores
hole
into
that it
the
made.
ground.
Yeah, the hole fills itself in, or can I look
It
down?
does, yeah. These back claws suddenly just close in the tunnel behind it.
Ah, shit!
I suspect that, well, based on what it is, that doesn't look like something natural necessarily. It's
It's a
probably
demon!
actually... No, it's not a demon.
There's some kind of
Just
a
because
curse!
you don't know what it is doesn't mean it's a demon.
I just want to
Like,
say,
why is that your assumption?
sorry,
I don't know!
looking at that, when the Dogmile Juggernaut is reduced to 0 hit points, it doesn't die until the end of its next turn.
Yep.
So does
But
that
it does
mean
still
it just
die.
burrows down and then just plops its clog 6
I
seconds
guess.
later?
It.
We don't know.
That's
Who
what
knows?
it looks like to me. Like it doesn't say that it gets any hit points back. It's still at.
No, it's basically it's kind of like a literal juggernaut feature. Like it will just keep going for that one turn. Like a berserker, it just won't realize it's dead for a little bit longer.
That's
Good
kind of
point.
funny.
Chick-
It shows
Good point.
itself
It comes
a
back and attacks Ember. Alright, you caught it.
Ah!
Yep, it straight up emerges from the ground again. And is going to take a bite at
Protection.
Ember, who was inspecting the body.
I will.
Protect-
19?
No, that with advantage. What?
Yeah, it was hidden.
But protection.
Sorry. I guess it'd be flat. So,
Which means it'd be
11.
flat, which means it'd be the 9th.
Ah, it would be.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, the 11th.
Okay.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I don't have a reaction, right? Because I would technically be surprised here since it was hidden.
You saw it go down into the ground. I'll say you have a reaction.
I still can't shield it anyways because 19 would still hit me. So I'm going to be
Okay. You take-
surprised and smashed by this thing.
You take 12 points of piercing damage.
That's back! Kill it!
And, you know what? Because Tana technically wouldn't have all their health. It's going to take 1 core again. You.
Fuck! I think I just applied 12 points of damage to it. No,
What
Some-
the deuce just happened?
Wow.
God.
What is-
Somehow I clicked everyone.
what is going on?
Let me undo that.
I'm just trying to apply 12 points of damage.
There we go. Sorry about that. Tana, what's your AC? 20,
It's 21 at the moment.
21. Right. So Tana, you would actually go down in this. You were, I know we're kind of retconning this. You would be on 9 health.
before the healing.
Yeah. Which means you're unconscious, and this thing straight afterwards falls to the ground in a heap. And now combat's over, and it falls down like dying.
And then
upwards.
Tanner gets killed for 32.
Okay. So now I'm on 32 hit points. So
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the
I'm
fuck was
gonna
that?
say, though, you can take off the first dice roll of that because you would have killed him on your turn straight after it
Yes.
at the start of your turn. So one, just -1 of the first d6s from it.
Oh, yeah, so yeah. So just minus a d6 from that, I guess. Whichever was the first
4.
d6.
So you have 4 less than that. So you've healed for 28.
Yeah.
There you go. Alrighty. So yeah,
Seems-
after that, the creature does finally collapse and die.
All right,
Seems like
exercising a lot more caution this time to slowly inspect it, manner, while
Yeah.
keeping my hands up and ready to shield myself should it this again.
Yeah.
I would like
Nikki's-
to keep an eye out on the rest of the tunnels to see if any more babies emerge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nissa's focus is going to be on the markings, seeing if there are anything she recognizes.
and Tanner's just going to be on high alert.
Okay. The
How you
marking.
doing there, tough guy?
Give me a
Ow.
medicine.
I've never
Medicine
wanted to be on the receiving end of
Medicine
whack-a-mole.
check for the markings. Okay. Ah, so close to the nat 20.
Okay. There looks like there is indeed tattoos and scarring over this creature. And there seems to be almost signs of brutalized flesh, warping magic. And this thing looks barely recognizable to the kind of smaller dog mole that you saw,
Yeah.
these signs don't look like something that would grow up with naturally, like of age.
It almost looks like this isn't a demon ember, but instead is something that has been tortured. And
1 second, I'm
fixed to
focusing
be
here.
this shape.
Mm-hmm. You can see on the furless mass of muscle there is plenty of scar tissue. There are barbed piercings clad in haphazard barding, and
Ugh.
you can tell that this thing was definitely some sort of creature of war once upon a time, but maybe it's freed itself from its captors.
Hmm.
Nissa,
there
what
any-
would have done this? Would this be the
That-
Fomorian leader?
No, this doesn't look like the work of a mind flayer. This, or assuming it is a mind flayer that's undoing this, it's too that their sort of tortures tend to be more like cerebral and mental, whereas this is physical.
Hmm.
I would guess it would be one of the other Underdark races. I mean, I've heard that Drow and Dwerga can be quite torturous. And they are quite skilled with magic, and this seems to be a magical warping, but because they look like almost like tattoos, so do those look like any like particular languages or anything with those tattoos, or are they just markings?
I'll tell you what, yeah, you can roll an investigation check.
Ah, yes. Good at those. Apparently,
Yeah. They are of dwarven script.
yes.
Like, they look more like dwarven runes rather than just normal, mundane, arcane symbols.
Does anyone here know much about dwarves? Because these appear to be like dwarvish arcane runes, but I'm not that familiar with the language.
Never really met any dwarves. No, I don't know any dwarves. No, they stick to the mountains.
Well, and the caverns. My guess would be that this is Dwerga work, but not for certain.
You think dwarves did this?
I'm
The
gonna bring up.
Underdark dwarves, yes.
I'm gonna bring up what Suzuki said about the encounter that they'd had with creatures that might have been dark dwarves who'd also been tortured and maybe gone through a war.
Indeed,
Ah.
yes.
What would torture dwarves? That's
The
I don't know.
Drow, they tend to hate everyone. The Mind Flayers, potentially, because they, Dwerga, once corrupted, could be a good servant, perhaps. Other Dwerga.
Perhaps both of these are remnants of war, prisoners of war left behind, and instruments of war abandoned in the tunnels.
Yes, it almost looks like this was a war machine that has perhaps escaped and freed its young, or perhaps escaped and had young. So, I kind of feel a bit bad, but
Guys,
didn't
have a
really
look at
have
these
a choice.
claws.
Interesting.
Grizz, as I'm
yeah.
switching over the body, have a look at these claws. Remember your war pig that we freed from underneath. Maybe we could help Churg, Chum, Blug, Blurg. I don't remember his name, but
Rob?
Grub.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, maybe he could benefit from these.
What, like, put them on him, you mean?
Yeah,
has
why not,
hooves.
Grizz?
It has hooves, man.
I don't know. I don't know about these things, Grizz. All right, never mind.
I'll look over the rest of the body. Is there anything else that is of interest that could be used for our purposes? I don't really imagine so.
There is kind of like called barding, haphazard, piercings. That's about it.
I will check the head. This is gonna be kind of.
Taylor, can you do this for me? This is disgusting. I'll
I'll pull out my dagger.
like this it did before. Check into its brain. Let's see what.
Okay. So the head is a ring of tentacles that sprout from its mouth, which are dominated by a spade-like incisors.
Daya, keep that staff ready in case one of those brain dogs comes out again.
Yep.
It doesn't
I'm
look like
watching.
the head has any visible ears, only tiny cataract-filled eyes. There are blood and foam flecking from its tentacle maw. And you cut
Ugh,
open its head.
gross. King, come here. Tanner, help me cut this open. King, be ready. Daya, be
Very
ready.
well.
Uh,
And
you
I
s-
will, with Tanner's help, attempt to cut open the brain.
Okay.
Ugh.
You cut open the head, and Kane gives a good sniff in that direction, and then shakes its head. And you do see just a normal, well, I say normal brain. The mole's brain is a lot smaller than a humanoid's, but it doesn't seem to be in. It doesn't seem to suddenly sprout legs and run away.
Well, that's good that it's not
That's
linked.
reassuring. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't another one of those walking brains.
No, that's a worthwhile thing to do. I mean, we don't. It's probably worth doing to others that we face, creatures, just to make sure that it might give us an idea of what the Mind Flayers have planned, or Mind Flayer. I'm assuming Mind Flayer because they're normally a hive race, but who knows? But this is, as I said, this is Dwerga work, or Dwerga, however you want to pronounce it. It's
Dwerga.
it's a bit up for debate, but not. I'm not into linguistics at the moment. If you know much about Drow, they sort of have the same relationship with surface dwarves as Drow do to surface elves.
You trying to shoot them all?
Yeah, I'll help you clear that,
I
Tanner.
just see some movement in the distance, so I just kind of like raise a hand up and just.
What is it? What is it?
They're playing whack-a-mole.
Oh, really? Okay, fine. I'll play your game.
Let's.
None of you have actually managed to target it though. Oh, too slow.
If we
I
had
would-
a bit,
Ah, you can see him. No. Damn it.
if we had a bit more time, I'd personally quite like to bury this thing.
That's ridiculous. We have to keep going.
Isn't it one of
like-
those creatures where its young will come back and eat it?
Potentially, but as I was saying, Ember, if we had the time, I would, but we don't have the time, so let's keep going.
I wonder if it's one of those creatures where the young will die without its mother.
Hopefully. This creature's disgusting.
They may not be young enough, but I agree with you, Nissa. It is.
One sec, Tanner. One sec. Let me clear some of this out. These mushrooms, they're most vile. Everything down here is vile, Nissa.
And I will use
Yes, it's
Produce
the Fae
flame
God.
too.
It's not meant to be nice.
I will use produce flame to start burning away these spider webs and mushrooms if I can.
But
Okay, sure.
Why
You
did
can
that
burn
target
it.
people? I did not target that. Thankfully, I didn't target anyone. I just clicked the thing and
You targeted them all.
I didn't target anyone.
Oh god, I don't know why it hit everyone.
Yeah, I have no idea what. Just
unfortunately, I missed us all.
Okay, you're fine. So,
stop.
yeah, sorry. So
I'm
anyway,
reloading. I don't know.
we're going to jump to another map soon anyway, don't worry. So you clear away the path, leaving charred mushrooms in your wake. And Suzuze just lets out a sigh. And as you guys push forward, she kind of leaves a patch of frost, freezing the remains. And you
Flame
guys-
purifies. Don't worry, D'Souza. This will make things safe for us.
Kane,
Like, of course, it sets off a chain reaction. You don't know what these mushrooms are. You know, we've seen explosive ones, so.
thankfully they were not. Yeah,
I will
thankfully they weren't flammable or explosive ones this time.
Lead the way,
But
Tanner.
Kane rushes off
Yep.
into the distance. Oh, I think he's got away from something, I think.
Kane! Tanner, get him!
Right. And you push deeper in to the distance into the Fade Arc. This is an incredibly steep ascent, and it's getting to the point where Sasuze even begins to transform, sprouting her wings instead to make this journey easier. Nissa, you're able to hover, but the others, Grizz is easily able to climb this, no problem. And Tanner, with your strength, you're probably alright as well. But it does get steep for Ember and Dire. Sorry, go back to this one. Oh.
Remember what you said, Daya? That as we learned from earlier there that as we get closer to the Candle Cliff, there's creatures that were inducing madness. Perhaps these two things are related. That what you said with these dog moles and these dwarves. Perhaps these dwarves are being affected by the Candle Cliffs and the effects of the madness that it permeates.
It certainly sounds like the dwarves were somehow driven to some sort of madness. I don't know whether
This
it
is
was through
This is
violence or through
really
something
steep.
unnatural.
I'm struggling here. You know what?
How's Daya looking? Does she look like she's able to climb all right?
Let's find out. Give me either. Yeah, no, give me an athletics check.
I'll do the same. I'll see
Yep.
how it's working.
Yeah, my
ahead.
athletics is not good, but my acrobatics should be okay. So if I want to do like
Yeah, but I've never
free
seen someone
climbing with just my fingers, but no,
cartwheel
strength
up
is not. Mm.
Okay, so yeah, your legs muscles are already getting a little bit worn out from this ascent, and it's only fair. Let's have Tanner and Grizz also roll some athletics checks.
Gotcha.
Grizz
Is
is
it not rolling?
oh god, no, it rolled a 28, dude.
Okay. I'm going to relog then.
But you're having no problem. Tanner's powering through. Funnily enough, Grizz is actually falling behind. Oh, just not feeling it. You know, he just.
Chris, what are you doing?
I don't know. It's slippery. I keep stumbling around, and you do see he is, as he's ascending, going into the softer soil, and he keeps skipping back down, getting a face full of the stuff, and then sliding down a few feet. Ah!
Come on. I'll try and help him up. Like, give him a hand up.
Try spreading out your weight so that you're not putting all the same place in one, all your weight in one place. I say as I struggle 20 feet below you.
Yeah. He kind of starfishes out, and then just makes a soil angel. Oh well. Tell you what, just drop me a rope when you get to the top.
Do we have that grappling hook somewhere?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we do have a grappling hook.
That adamantine grappling hook might come in handy here.
Yep.
Who's got that
Actually,
thing,
be a good
anyways?
idea.
I
Nissa
think
does.
I have it, or Nissa does.
I don't have it. I can't
Okay.
carry that thing.
I
No,
will
okay.
give it to. Can I give it to Nissa if she can carry it up or drag it up?
Oh, come on, I'll deal with this. Give me the hook.
Yeah.
Ah,
And I'll cast
Aren't I?
spider climb on myself and climb to the top. And
Okay.
such nonsense.
Well, but
Held by a stupid cliff.
That will do the
That
job.
works.
Ember, you reach the top probably before your rest of your allies. Suzuze is up here, and she's awestruck by the sight. As you look around Ember, you see hundreds of flickering little lights, and there's tons of them in the distance, just all around this huge chasm. And you can tell there's some below, there's some above you. It feels like you're just at the edge of like a galaxy of these tiny little flames. And yeah, you can see that there are passageways, edges, and walkways all over the place. You have no idea why these candles are here, or why they've not gone out, but there's hundreds of them.
Alright, well, I find this fairly fascinating, especially the large amount of flame and heat they produce, but I am not going to do anything until I've managed to get my allies up, as I've heard this place can induce madness and
You drop
fun.
the silk rope down, and your rest of your allies make it up without any more difficulty. And as you all come one by one to the top, you two all see this beautiful array, flickering lights. And you can't see how far away they are because they're just a light in the dark. But you kind of guess from maybe some of the closer ones how big they are. And by that kind of scale, you can see them in the distance. Maybe some are 300 feet off.
Now remember, everyone, we have to make sure we don't descend into madness here. We need to stay focused on getting towards the city, the Overlook. We need to make sure that, we're not going to get ourselves in trouble here like these dwarves.
Hmm. So I'm going to reveal a lot more of the map just because there is a way to actually see it. But getting over there is pretty impossible without power of flight. So there you go. It gets steeper and steeper, and you can see it kind of descends in tiers. One area filled with 100 candles. Next beyond that, like another dozen, and they seem to get more dispersed further out it gets because this cavern goes way, way back, potentially miles back. You can't see the
What are
back of
these
it.
candles?
There actually happens to be some near you as well. There's a walkway, an edge that kind of skirts the edge of this massive cliff. And it seems like it does go into a tunnel as well.
And this, which way do we go here?
Towards the cliff itself, I guess.
We need to
Okay.
get to the top.
Yep.
Maybe we should try some of these little crevices, perhaps. They go on an incline as we enter.
Certainly worth a try. Better than standing around doing nothing unless any of you can, apart from Suzusa, can sprout wings and fly.
For sure, Tanner, you first.
Nope, the walkways look good to me. Are the candles like definitely made of wax and wick
Yeah.
and flame? They are.
Yeah, as you inspect one, yes. You see there's a
They
little
look just like
spot.
regular candles.
Some of the wax looks melted, but you don't see any more of it melting, like dripping or anything. It's
Chris,
a mostly full candle.
Yeah. Is the flame flickering or is it frozen in place?
It is flickering, yeah.
It is flickering. Oh, okay. Interesting.
do I have that that feeling, that hint in the air, similar to how I did? Oh crap! Town that burned, Bromwell. Like that feeling that something magically just is unusual. Like, is there any kind of
Is there something unusual here? Yeah, in the air.
well, aside from
Okay.
the random burning candles? Do I have that feeling like where like magic might be altered or enhanced?
It's
in some
almost like
manner?
a power surge.
Like how Bromwell was.
Give me a perception check. This will be difficult without detect magic, obviously, but
Alright.
give me a perception check.
Well, certainly will fail this, but I will try. Skill, perception. Yep.
Oh.
No, you cannot seemingly
Huh?
feel anything in the air.
Nothing unusual here, guys.
You know what? That natural one couldn't be more apt because you don't feel anything unusual, true, but you don't feel anything at all. And I
At
mean
all.
I mean that word exactly as I said it. You don't feel anything. No impatience, no sadness, no fear. For a moment, when you try to feel the air, feel what's here, the emotion of this place, there is nothing.
Well, I guess it's time to walk towards the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go, everybody.
You're right.
Yes.
I would like that very much, I think.
All right, let's
Yes,
begin
let's
to
continue
walk.
on.
Just begin to
Yeah.
walk towards the cave.
Okay.
No fear, no rush, no
Mm.
delay. Just walking towards candles in the cave.
Precisely. Nothing.
Yeah.
Suzuki kind of raises an eyebrow as you deliver this in a monotone sort of sense. And she looks out towards the distance, has a hesitation to go and fly over there, but then her curiosity or her awe of this area is also similarly faded, and she transforms back into her human form and falls in line with the rest of you guys as you make your way around in single file around the edge of this huge drop. There's no handrails, so be careful as I drag you onto this next map.
It's fine. I'm not scared.
I
I'm
am
not.
not anything. I just want to walk up the cliff.
Wow.
Alright. In the distance, you see there are a set of 3 candles lighting this kind of pot-holed cliff edge, and you see that there seems to be a small little fountain in the middle. It is leaking some water, and it's being filled by a stalactite hanging from the ceiling, but water is dripping down and into the fountain. And as you step back into the light, you feel again the emotions that you were feeling beforehand, the sense of this ascent, the sense that you're close, and all your other emotions seem to flood back to you as you step into the light of this candle.
I'm stuck in a wall.
Yeah, can we get our ember back?
There we go. Thank you.
Yes,
What the? Did anyone else? I was. What? The,
That was...
ah!
That was strange.
that was
I quickly
strange.
hover up to the well.
So essentially, what it feels like is, whilst we were in the dark, our emotions were like sapped, but now we're back in the light. They're back to normal.
Like I
Precisely.
said, fire soothes, fire heals, fire warms. Fire is life.
Well, we're looking for the void, right? Well, that
Interesting.
would be a void of emotions.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, very nice. So, could this be like where the void, the chalice of the void?
So the
I
chalice of the void is literally a chalice of devoid of emotion.
I mean, technically, this is a fountain being filled with water, so I suppose this could count as a chalice. But I don't.
No, but this here, this fountain isn't the nothingness. It was the darkness that was the nothingness.
Yes.
The void.
So we may have. So perhaps once we're done, we can come back this way and look into that darkness. Unless you want to try to do that first.
Dyer, as you come close to the edge here, you see there are massive sections of rock that are suspended, and the void below, your dark vision cannot perceive the bottom. It is impossibly black.
What's this like a little glow here?
You found the
That
secret
is
button.
That is a bug.
Ah,
It is a glowing little bug, and a blue one at that. And just as you come over to it, and Dyer, as you're staring, Ember as well, and
Yes.
Tanner, in fact, all of you are staring down into the darkness. You suddenly feel a cold chill up your spine, not from temperature, but something else, like a shuddering feeling, and you just all get the sensation that you are being watched.
Grizz, whatever you've just eaten, drop it.
What is that?
I look around. Do I see anything like above or back towards the group, towards the well.
You can give me a perception check.
Yeah, and this is also going to have a look around, see if they spot anything.
I would
Nice.
also like to look for something as well.
Go ahead.
Ah, you
Okay.
found the aboleth. Wonderful.
Okay. So let's go down in top.
Oh,
Okay, 18, 18, 18,
I would-
right there.
I would like to do an insight check rather than a perception check,
Okay.
just to see
Okay.
if this void is giving me any.
Oh,
No,
no.
obviously it's not. It's giving me nothing. Nope.
Once again, a natural one. When you try to feel the emotion of this void, nothing. But not the absence of something. I mean, the void of something. Yes,
Mhm.
there is nothingness down there. There is more than just emptiness.
It's like a
Active-
If that is even making any
Active
sense.
emptiness, a dark
Active
hole
emptiness,
rather.
yeah.
black
More like,
hole. Yeah.
right, yeah, that sensation. Feeling like you're not just in the lack of something, but rather you're losing more and more the more you stare down into it.
This is
You sense,
interesting.
yeah.
Can
Your
I?
senses even dim for a moment, Dyer, and we'll say this is what happens because you're staring down at this void for a long time. Feels like there's no hope, there's no point in any of this. You almost, it's a bit grim, but you almost get that sensation to just fall off
Mhm.
and embrace this darkness. And but you don't. You don't even feel like you want to do that. You feel like you're just standing there and wasting away. And at the moment you finally kind of peel yourself away from it, is when you look around and you see that the
whoa.
color of this place is slightly drained. The only thing really giving off a hue is the candles. You look to your allies. Ember is just in a stark grey. Ember has no longer got that shine to his plate mail. Hannah, you rolled an 18. So did Nissa. And so did Ember. You all rolled 18. You begin to look around, trying to discern that feeling or shake it off. And it's about there when you circle around, Hannah, is when you feel it strongest. I'll let you look through your character. Ember, with your 18, I'll say that
Excuse
there's
me,
something
what?
odd about this. Yeah, look through your token. Click your token.
Oh! I mean... Oh!
What?
Cam just got the willies because he saw this. We're gonna switch places. There you go, Ember. You'll
What do
see
I?
it when you see it.
What am I?
Look through your token. I'm gonna move Nissa as well.
I was like, what do you mean look through your token? I clicked on my vision and instantly...
Yeah. Click on your vision. Click on Ember. Not seeing it?
Oh, there's some kind of.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Okay. So Tanner's. Okay, Nissa's gonna be a bit tricky because you're a medium-sized creature. But there you go. I think I got you perfectly positioned.
Oh yeah, I can just see it.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is that?
So Tanner's over there, and you kind of suddenly just get whoa, that feeling as you see there is a pair of eyes through the darkness. A very thin slit in the rock face has a face watching you. Ember, you see that there seems to be something odd about this rock face. It's almost like there's planks of wood over the top of it, trying to conceal something. And as for Nissa, with your 18, I'll say
That
let's
bug has
see.
a face on it.
No, there is something weird in the air. You sense something more than you see something. And it feels as though these candles are providing some sort of magical quality. Because as you look around, you notice that these mushrooms are in the light. whereas by checking the edges, there seems to be nothing of the like. No mushrooms grow near the edge, but you notice that there's a sign of life, a little bug here in the corner that seems to be within the light of a candle. But just looking around, you sense nothing on this brickwork and nothing on these floating platforms. Usually, the Feydark is full of life. Even in every crack and crevice, there is something growing: moss, mushrooms, tiny insects. But here, it feels more like the actual Underdark of the material plane.
Do you tell me this?
So that was a lot
Yes.
for everyone. But there you go. I'm gonna shut up.
Mrs. just goes. It's strange. This place, in the light, there is life, but outside of it, it's devoid of it. It's not right for the Feydark. Everywhere should be full of life. It's literally where the primordial mud is. It's where all life in the Feywild sort of comes from.
Tanner will fumble around to his bag and pull out a torch, and we'll run over to this light over here.
Okay. Your torch burns just as you would expect it to.
And then I'll step over to the rock formation.
As you peer through, you cannot see the face that you saw just a split second ago. They have likely moved.
Oh, I like the lighting and how it did that. That was so nice. But yeah.
Pretty cool.
Foundry, baby.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to be walking around with a torch.
Okay.
I
I will
will
make sure you emit light. for a sec.
Begin to.
Go ahead.
I
wanna
will
check
begin.
this out?
Yeah, begin to just kind of look inside, burn away any wood or push away any wood if I need. And I
Okay.
also wanted to try something a bit earlier. I just wanted to shoot a fireball and firebolt into the
Sure.
void and see if it changed it in a way, if it glowed like
Oh,
candles, or if it maybe it turned to frost, or maybe something happened to it. I don't know.
yeah,
I want to
sure.
see
As you
kind
fire
of
a
like
bolt
negative
into,
reaction or something.
as you fire a bolt into the distance, it maintains its speed and trajectory, but the color of your flame turns grey, such that it almost looks like a will-o'-wisp floating through the air until it finally disappears. But you notice it doesn't just go into the vanishing point. It feels more like it went through into a veil of darkness.
You see that, Daya? You see that? See, Daya? Daya, are you okay? Daya? Hey, Daya! Hey, Daya!
I'm just looking out. It's so dark.
See what happened about? You didn't see my firebolt? What?
No,
That's
I
kind of
saw.
weird.
Yeah. It's amazing. There's nothing here. What do you? I
Is
don't know what it
Di
means.
is Di still
Okay,
looking?
Daya, sure.
This is important somehow.
Well, we're trying to help you, Daya. We're trying to help you find the void, the chalice of the void. This is your destiny, Daya. This is what you're doing, right? This is why we come here.
Just gonna hold her hand over the edge. I don't feel anything. Why don't I feel anything?
I'm going to walk over to Di and just kind of like, is she almost peering over the edge?
Yes, yeah.
I'm
Staring diagonally down.
just going to take her arm and just take one step back.
Okay.
You feel
I don't
color.
resist. Yeah.
You feel color wash back into the room, into this realm, and Tanner's light from the torch does seem to shine again back on his armor. It's a numb feeling at first when he grabs a hold of your arm, but when he pulls you back from the edge, such that your eyes aren't really gazing upon it anymore, is when you can suddenly feel your body kind of moving, and the touch of Tanner's gauntlets. They're cold.
Are you okay, Di? I just
Yeah.
kind of like try and
Yeah.
meet her gaze almost.
I'm not looking back at you. Yeah, it's that was just a weird. Did you notice that? It's really dark in here.
Yeah, yeah, the firebolt. That was
is.
really weird. Yeah.
Just kind of like trace a hand down to hers and just place the torch into her hand. Keep
Okay, I will.
keep the
I'll
light
take the torch.
close, okay?
I'm
Okay.
in the village. I'm sticking close to you.
You need to stay with us,
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah. Nissa, doing a similar experiment to what Amber did, Nissa is going to cast dancing lights and basically have the four lights just go out into the darkness, sort of separated, and see if anything goes different about those.
Okay, sure. What color are your dancing lights?
What are my options? Honest.
Anything you like.
I'm gonna say like almost like a purple color. For those interested, probably probably the same blue to match Nissa's wings. Thinking about it,
Hmm.
Sure.
and probably
Okay.
have those sort of like black flecks as well that Nissa's wings have, but mostly blue.
And you summon like 3 of them.
Four.
Oh, 4 of them. Oh, okay. All right. These dancing lights appear, and they
Yeah.
send them off. You're just spreading them into the darkness.
Yeah.
Okay. So they flitter down and dance down to the darkness below. And I'd like you to make a quick perception check as you do, because these are permanent light sources. You can get a good look down. Oh wow,
19.
19.
Hmm.
As they float past this platform, you swear you see something upside down clinging to the underside of the rock. And it quickly
What the
shifts
fuck
itself.
Ooh.
is that?
It shifts itself and goes out of the light.
Hmm.
It
I
looked,
don't want to encounter that.
No.
whatever it was, it looked like it had 4 legs, or maybe 2 legs actually. Yeah, it looked like it had 2 legs, and it didn't have much more than many more features apart from this horrid face of teeth. Just, it didn't look like a leech. It had legs, but it was small, kind of almost pug-like. That's the best description. But it did hide its way out of the light.
Keep
Tell you
that thing
what it
away
looked
from
like.
Kane.
It looked like a fucking nope.
Yep.
Yeah, keep that away from
But,
Kane. We don't want him
but if
jumping off
there's
this ledge.
but if there's life in the void, it means that it's not completely a void.
No,
I mean, it
but whilst there is light in the void, it was close-ish. So perhaps the farther you go into the void, the less life there is.
could
But
be. Yeah.
considering everything, it seems like trying to go in that direction almost seems like a torture in itself, slowly draining you of everything.
Hmm.
Ah,
But,
It's about this point when you see the color of your purplish bluey lights dim
yeah,
down, and eventually they do blink out once they lower to a certain distance.
yes. So the further they go, it even seems to be draining. I mean, it might be because they're a source of light, but it might be because they're magical. I seem to snuff them out like it's a darkness that cannot be truly penetrated, which, if we're looking for the darkest place in the Underdark, somewhere where even light cannot exist, that seems like it.
Hmm.
If this is
So,
the place, then what is the chalice? How do you capture such light and enclose it?
that.
Carry it back
Um,
with you.
I'm trying to remember Una's exact wording. It was like in like what was Una's wording? It was like we needed to find the chalice of the void in the darkness, and that would create the elsewhere flask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you would bring it back to her.
So we'd bring back the chalice of the void.
Yeah.
perhaps if we can, perhaps somewhere in the dark there is something there that we need to find that we can bring back, or perhaps chalice means something else.
If it's not a physical object like a treasure, it might just be something capable of carrying some part of the void back. A cup
Yeah.
or a bucket. But
Yes.
I don't
I'm
know what kind of thing.
well. Thinking about what the Elsewhere flask is, it's a flask that can hold the stars, so it obviously is an emptiness that needs to be filled.
Mhm.
As such, we somehow need to capture that emptiness, I guess, but how we go about doing that, I'm not exactly sure.
This
But
Maybe
makes
it's a
I
different
feel.
me.
object.
Mm,
Maybe it's a person or a creature.
I was also
Something.
thinking, considering the area we're in, what if we're in the flask?
Right now? How would we
What,
bring it
Tanner?
back?
Well, it's a flask that needed to be filled, and we're currently in a place that's completely devoid and empty. I mean, I'm just throwing
Not
an idea
completely,
out
though.
there.
Not completely.
Hmm.
There's something else out there.
but there's something else out there that's still close to this, may be able to survive on the fringe, but if you go further out, there might be something else. Have you found something over there, Amber? You've been standing there a while.
Yeah. Just have a look here. I think it's a tunnel or something. I'm not sure. Looks something uh, something inside
Yes,
here.
that looks like wood covering something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can burn it away.
I mean,
Might take
is
a little
that
time, but perhaps Tanner could
Grizz?
catch his breath. We
Well,
do that.
Grizz, you could try chopping it with your axe.
Uh, sure. He comes over.
All right, go ahead, Grizz.
I thought rather than starting fires, we don't know how far this would go, so just breaking open an entrance to give us a look might be better.
Just
Eases
throw it
back.
down the hole, Nissa.
Stand back. Heaves his axe up and brings it down with the full weight. Crushing.
Ooh! A
That's
mimic!
big box.
Ooh.
Oh, mimic! I'm back. That's you're up. No, you like touching mimic.
Um, so we see this big box,
Massive
and
chest.
and immediately Tanner's
God.
initial thing is it's a mimic.
Oh
We've
no,
encountered a
that was
couple of them.
that was Cameron's thinking, but yeah.
We have
They said it
encountered a
now.
couple.
So
What is that?
Nissa's going to think on this. Just pick up like a small stone or something and just chuck it at the chest to see if it actually does anything.
Yeah, it hits and it sounds like a solid wooden chest. Like the wood is like, and the stone bounces off. And
That's
lands
just
on
what they
the ground.
want you to think.
But it doesn't react in a way.
Calm down, Tanner.
No. Okay, there's one other thing to try.
It didn't sound. I'll say it didn't sound hollow either.
Hmm.
Almost seemed like it's almost like it's a solid box.
I
Nissa's
suppose it would be too good to be true if there was a goblet, chalice, cup-shaped thing in there, right?
Nissa's going to flit over to it and because it looks like it has an opening, search it for traps, I guess.
Yeah, you can search for traps. Or an investigation check.
The best.
It does not look trapped, but you can tell that there are it's a sturdy looking lock on the exterior that's going to need pick locking, but it looks like it was hidden away here. You can tell that there's someone's like shifted the earth out of the way, stuffed it up against the corner.
Would we be able to take 5 minutes before we attempt to unlock said chest?
Yeah, I
That's
feel
right.
like Yeah.
We're going just a minute, just one more minute. We could do
Okay.
it. We'll do it very soon. All right. So Nissa, do you have any thieves tools?
No. Do any of you
I
know how to pick a lock?
I do. I have thieves' tools, and I think I'm proficient in them as well.
It's not trapped as far as I can tell, so
Okay.
and it hasn't reacted to my being present.
Stand
So I don't
back,
think it's
Tanner.
another.
I don't know what this chest is gonna do. Please be careful. I'll keep a look from back here, and
Can I just get a quick
Okay.
peek at it? Is it breathing?
Does not appear to be breathing, no.
I'm gonna stand back, but keep Daya and Nissa my.
Is
Like-
Kane reacting to it at all?
Kane does not seem to be reacting.
So not an aberration then. So
Are
but
there
then again,
any signs or symbols or anything that we could tell, like, who made it? Like, is it dwarven make? Is it elven?
It looks more dwarven make, yeah, like a sturdy timber. The metal is like finely crafted with rivets, like heavy rivets. So definitely kind of
Mhm.
dwarvish make.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do a careful examination, the same way Nissa did. Check for traps.
Yep, sure.
And which is
Sure.
a
Investigation check.
investigation. Not that I'll turn up anything extra, but I don't know that she rolled a 20.
Nope, doesn't
Okay.
look trapped.
Okay, and yeah, I'm gonna do a
Thieves tools.
again, thieves tools. Where is
All right.
that? How do I roll that? I
fortunately,
haven't
so
done thieves tools in a while.
Just roll a dex check plus your proficiency. So
should be
just
able to roll.
Okay.
dex is okay.
10 plus proficiency, I think, is 3.
So
Not great.
18. No, it's just 13. Okay.
13.
I will. No, I won't. It's just too
Okay.
bad.
So yeah,
That's just a shitty roll.
yeah,
Yeah.
fumbling with a lot doesn't seem like it's going to open. The tumblers are perhaps too rusty, and
Hmm.
this thing has not been opened for years, maybe. Well, maybe. It's hard to tell.
I'm gonna hand the thieves' tools to Nissa and say maybe your smaller hands will have better luck.
I'm not proficient in them, but I can give it a go.
Might as well.
Okay, you can give it a check.
Before I do,
Yep.
do I have anything that be? Sorry. Before I do,
I thought the thing had exploded.
No.
Yes, explode.
No, that would be a waste. That. No, I don't have anything that's probably going to be useful here, so I'll give it a go.
Okay,
I
so
think
you
it had
start
like
handing the
oil or
tools.
something.
You start pushing into the, and yeah, this
No.
thing is just sealed shut.
Hmm.
Chris steps up behind you. There's always option number 2.
I mean, in this case, considering how rusted this seems, unless anyone else has a way to de-rust it, like some oil or something,
Well, try that
probably
torch at
best.
Tanner. Maybe the candles will open it or something.
Can I try the silver knife against the wood? See if I can separate the wood from the rusted metal and just pull it apart.
Actually,
Like
that's
because if the metal is rusted, then it's possible that the wood is rotted as well.
just
True.
before you do, Amber raised a good point. This chest, because it's like buried back here, is it in the light from the candles?
No, it's not.
Okay, Tana, bring your torch over here. I'm just curious. Amber does raise an interesting point. This has been put in the dark.
Daya has a torch.
Well, okay.
That's true. Dia's been given a torch. It doesn't seem to
I
be
do have a
any.
torch.
No, it doesn't seem to be different in the light.
Okay, so I didn't react to the light.
No.
Okay. But you said it seemed solid, right? It didn't seem like it was hollow, but it's fairly big.
Right, and it's fairly big, so it must be filled.
Yeah, so there's something in here, but what would be in here? Try chipping away at the wood, I guess.
Yeah, gonna try with my knife, like wedging away at the little pieces, see if any parts will come up. Anything could be separated, like using it like a crowbar.
Yeah, if you have a crowbar, you could use it. But
Do I have a crowbar? I don't know if I do.
this would
I have a
be rather
Dungeoneer's. Oh, I do have a Dungeoneer's pack, so yes, I do have a crowbar.
okay. Then you can use a strength check to try and pry the lock off the front.
Oh, okay.
And with a crowbar, it's advantage, right?
It is with advantage.
Ooh, good.
Jesus, not much better.
Oh my god.
Would you like any help?
Bruce,
Wow.
try the crowbar.
Grizz, get over here.
I'm already here.
Okay, I will
Alright.
hand the crowbar to
Goodness
Grizz.
me. I'll be here all day.
Nissa just readies her bow just in case like something pops out from inside or something, like a jack in
Okay,
the box.
there we go. With that, he breaks the hinges off, and at the same time, he does it with such force. He's leaning the entire chest forward as he does, and as it finally pings off, the chest rocks backwards, and as it does, the momentum lifts off the lid, and suddenly something reaches out and
I fucking called it! I called it!
emerges
Wow.
I called it!
and gnashes its teeth.
You just see
Wow,
Tanner
that
light
is-
up in the background like, yeah!
And
That's hilarious.
Not a
Fucking
mimic,
mimic.
but there's a chest. There's a mimic filled chest.
Oh
Oh
god.
my god.
It still
Alright,
counts!
There's a mimic inside the box, and technically a mimic is a monstrosity, which is why
yeah.
Cayman reacts.
Yes!
No. Oh dear, we'll come back after the break just to let that
Alright.
sink in. Oh jeez.
Jesus Christ.
It would have been too good to be true, but you know, had to check anyway.
And we're back. So the players have just pried a lock off of a old rusty chest. As the lid kicks open, a smaller chest inside suddenly rears its head back, eyes pop open where the lock should be, and gnashing teeth lurch forward as a mimic jumps out of the chest that they thought was a mimic. So let's go.
I'm still
Alright.
counting that one.
Still only counts as one.
It already counts as one.
Alright. Let's get everyone on. There you go.
Beep, beep,
Okay.
okay.
Yep, that's all happening. So it, of course, is a surprise round. You didn't expect that to be able to. Except Tanner. Tanner's the only one not surprised because he called it.
Yes! I will take it.
I will say that Nissa. I did say that Nissa readied her bow just in case before we opened.
That's true.
it.
She did say that.
Alright, yeah, that's cool. Your held action goes off before anything else happens.
Okay, I'm gonna fire my. I might as well start this the fun way. Let's fire the Uncle Harry.
Okay. So you get one shot. That is a
Oh,
hit.
I didn't have it targeted, sorry.
That's okay. I'll do it like this. Ding. Oh, it's a 7 piercing straight into this thing. It lurches forward and tries to potentially grab onto Dire. Yeah. Although Grizz just axed it open. You know what? The good old D2 roll. That's what we need right now. One on Dire. It's Dire. Alright.
Yay. All right.
So let's go with the old pseudopod. Wow, why am I targeting you with everyone? Huh. Oh, we'll see what happens. Alright. +5 to hit. There we go.
Oh. Ooh, that does hit.
Alright, you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage as this long purple tongue whips around, grabs onto you, and begins to administer its adhesive form. You are now grappled and stuck to him.
Okay.
Okay, that's its go, effectively, but it's going right at the top of the round again. Kane springs into action, but it is very tricky to get in there.
Wait,
There's
I
too many
wasn't
people.
surprised.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, go on then. Go on, Tanner.
Yeah, exactly. That. I mean, Tanner
Go
will
on.
just point at it and go, "I knew it!" and then we'll launch a
Which
fireball.
does mean, technically, as I got a readied action, I also wasn't surprised.
That was my bonus action to shout that. And fireball. Yes!
Flip out. Full mimic. Jeez.
Wow.
Okay. 18 points of fire. That's nasty. Yikes. Alright, he's looking really badly wounded. As you hit it as well, let me just check something. Oh no, it's as it hit Dire, sorry. Dire, can you roll me a D100 as well, as this tongue is latched onto you?
I
And
would
Nissa,
be delighted.
and Nissa, you can take some attacks as well.
Oh. Yep.
35.
So I
What do
can
I get?
take some attacks against it.
Your senses become incredibly alert for 1 minute.
Hmm.
No creature within 120 feet of you can hide for that duration.
Oh, that's going to be interesting in this place.
So, do I get my full turn, Chris, just to confirm?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so bonus action, whistle to get my Encore arrow back, just to do that 1d8 damage.
Oh god, it hurts.
Maximum roll, and then let's fire that arrow straight back into it.
That's a hit.
I'm
It's
guessing
not
that
half
doesn't.
cover, but it's not helping it.
Is that hit?
Yeah, the half cover does nothing.
Yeah, and because this is technically my first turn, let's go for that extra attack.
Oh, that's a
That
miss.
probably misses. Yeah, that misses.
Oh, just in nick of time, because that probably would have finished it.
Yep.
in this case, Kane rushes over, unable to get anywhere in there. So back to the mimics go. It's going to bite into Daya with advantage because you are grappled.
Mm-hmm.
So 19. Oh, hits
19
you.
hits again. Yep.
8 points of this time acid damage as its teeth
Yipes.
begin to try and claw away your flesh. That's going to end its go, and we're back to Dana.
Okay, I'm just going to point my finger up again and pew pew.
And you can roll another D100 as well.
16
16 hits.
for 18 points damage.
That finishes it. You blasted into the corner.
Wow,
Almost-
that was
oh,
and that
almost
was
kept
2
life.
9s for the damage there.
It's nasty.
Yeah, I like.
Nice.
Yeah, I like how you did as much damage with the crit as you did with the normal. damage.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Ouch.
I just kind
Yep.
of like raised my finger up and just
60. Oh my god. Okay. The most helpful of weird arcanas. Instead of instead of terrible things, you got advantage on all death saving throws for the next 24 hours.
Oh, hey. All
That's
right.
actually pretty. That's pretty powerful.
That's pretty
Yep.
good.
It's not bad at all. Okay. This magically infused mimic blasted into the corner. He just wanted to help, clearly. He should have let it nibble on you for a bit longer. But in a way, I think it probably would have done more damage in the end. So, that's going to end combat before anyone else gets a chance.
I didn't even get a swipe at it.
No?
Thanks, Tanner.
I
Glad to have
gotcha.
you with us.
I
Yep.
knew it. Everybody
did
should
know it.
know.
Yep. Is there anything underneath the corpse in the chest?
Another mimic.
Yes, there was a lot of empty vials. All of them uncorked. Or rather,
Uncorked.
yeah, should I say the corks are missing from them?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
They're
so
all
there's
empty. Are they
potions in
all the
them. Oh.
same size and shape?
No, they are different. There's flasks, oils, and potentially like bottles, all different shapes and sizes,
Hmm.
and they're
Is there-
all empty.
They're
Can
all
we
empty.
get her
I
arrows
wonder-
back?
Yes, you can get. Actually, because this creature is comprised of acid, I'm going to say no. They have dissolved up in its body.
Well, at least I get my own arrow back.
That one's magical.
Perhaps these vials were consumed by the mimic as he had to kind of chill out in there for a long period of time, waiting for his victim. Maybe they're from this fountain. Maybe he was just drinking some water.
Who? The
Maybe
big
that's why
question
he-
is, who would lock up a mimic in a chest?
Seems quite
Can't they do it
strange.
themselves?
And lock up a bunch of empty vials. They weren't corked, so
Well, the thing is, like, unless somehow whatever was in those those vials somehow became the mimic.
And also, you said it was compiled of acid anyway, so perhaps it melted the corks away.
that could make sense.
The chest was really old, right? Looked really
Yeah.
old. So whoever did this a long time ago.
Did you say that the lock was rusty?
Yes.
Yes.
What if the mimic turned into a key, inserted itself, found the treasure and drank it?
I mean,
After
that's
dissolving-
possible.
After dissolving the lock slightly, and dissolving the corks.
Huh.
That's certainly plausible. I don't know why it would do such a thing, but
Hungry.
I mean,
who knows why they
well-
do anything. Yeah.
either way, it's dead now, so there's
So
nothing
what
else
you're
you
saying
can do
is
in
we
the
should
box.
eat the mimic.
It looked
I
like
wouldn't do that, Tanner.
It did feel as though it
It
was
was a joke.
infused with some sort of magic. And you see Suzuze's eyes do flash up as she casts Detect Magic,
Mm.
which Kotils do have.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, there is some sort of infusion on the creature. It is full of potentially weird magics.
Ah, the weird magics.
Hmm. Does
Weird
anyone
occult.
have does anyone have a cork for one of those bottles or some empty bottles themselves?
I do have a couple of empty bottles.
Maybe take some of the mimic acid with us. If it has weird magical properties, could be useful to throw at an enemy, and if we're desperate.
Sure, but before I do that, I want to I want to examine all of the vials individually, and I want to see if there's anything special or unusual about them, because it's not unusual. I wouldn't be surprised if someone had hidden away or their magical potions, but to hide them to this degree seems unusual. It seems like a weird place to put your vials, so I want to have a look.
A
If
man.
any of them stands out as this was a very expensive potion.
Yeah, sure. You can roll me a investigation check. It's not bad.
17. All right.
You do check, and you've inspected every kind of shape and size. There does seem to be a small amount of sediment at the bottom, not enough to really gain anything out of. But you can confirm they were different potions, possibly more powerful than others, seeing as some of the glass is shaped more in a expensive-looking fashion. Though you also, with that intelligence, would know that drinking multiples of different potions, when you overlap potions, you can potentially cause wild effects. Either both potions work, either neither potion works, one, or there's all kinds of other effects, including those.
Yeah.
There's literally a potions table which you can roll on to see what happens when you drink more than one. And yeah, it's not unusual that a monstrosity consuming this many in this short amount of time likely infused it with all kinds of strange magics that now that when it attacks with its acid, it's effectively delivering that effect.
Well, it's given me 2 beneficial effects too. I wonder. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna take I have a couple of empty vials from healing potions, and I think a whiskey bottle. So I'm gonna bottle those up. Bottle up some of the acid or whatever I can gain
Yeah,
from the mimic.
give me a survival check to bottle this stuff up without burning yourself.
Hmm.
Ooh, okay. So
Rolling like garbage today.
I'm gonna do a bit of a nasty and say you take 7 more points of acid damage as you scoop some of this up. You
Mm-hmm.
realize it's kind of still in its death throes, and as you scoop some up, it kind of like pop, and a little bit of it sprays up your arm, and the creature is most definitely dead. You can tell, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still kind of got this innate magic in it that, as you try to bottle it, kind of like warps and in unnatural ways. And yeah, it gets some of it on you again.
Right.
Roll another D100.
This one makes me immortal.
No, literally, as I was reading something about mortality on this table, 91.
One.
Okay. Oh God.
It's either really good or really bad, so hit me.
Oh no. Oh God, Daya, everyone sees Daya suddenly in a very similar fashion to the way the ooze collapsed into a kind of deflated balloon. Daya suddenly turns into a pile of muscle and skin, as though they were like as if
What the
it's
fuck?
gonna sound very
Their
strange.
bones basically have just disappeared, pretty much.
Yeah, it's gonna sound very strange, but it's as if a blow up Daya was just deflated and lays on the ground. Yeah. Your,
Dead?
your bones
Uh,
liquefy, collapsing your body into a meaty pile into the beginning of your next turn. While liquefied, you are paralyzed. When this effect ends, you re-solidify instantly, but no longer are wearing or holding anything.
What the hell?
Advertise, gentlemen, advertise.
Daya, what are you doing?
What happens to my clothes?
They're obviously on the floor around you, I guess.
Yeah.
I shall walk
Miss-
over and the
Miss-
shield will cover Grizz's eyes.
This is just like, you know, that gives me a great idea for some merch if you guys ever become really famous.
No. Chris is like, he's panicking. No, what? He's just
Okay.
Calm
No.
down. We had a bath together before. Daya,
Oh, that's true.
what are you doing? You're acting really weird. First the cliff, you know, you're just zoned out. Now you're getting naked. What's going on here?
Well, she's deflated. She appears to have no bones.
You can see by his mouth moving.
Oh,
where they have
Dia's
no-
still kind of like heaped.
Yes, heaps.
Oh my
right?
god. Oh,
For
right.
6 seconds.
It's horrific.
Oh, for 6 seconds. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
But it's 12 actually. But yeah.
Oh, 12. So
Anyway.
in that case, Tanner would have probably seen, rushed over, preparing to cast Greater Restoration.
Greater restoration?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
lesser.
sure.
I don't have
All
Greater,
right.
but
Sure. That's fine.
either way. Yeah.
Kane is freaking out as well, like an animal would if something unnatural happened. Just rushes away.
So yeah, he
Oh.
probably gets his full movement, and then Dia re-solidifies it. It's like, oh, shield.
You guys should get away from that chest.
Are you okay, Dia?
That was possibly the weirdest feeling I've ever had, including when my neck snapped around and I grew webbed feet.
You might want to get dressed.
What?
It would be a good idea.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Give
Yeah.
a woman her privacy.
The shield's up.
Oh, the shield is up. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That, like, as soon as she kind of reformed, it's like, uh-oh, the dignified shield just...
Yeah.
I was going to wall of ice had you not done that.
I mean, that would have been a
Thank
good
you,
idea. as
Tanner.
well.
You're...
No, I don't wall of
Gentleman
ice,
as
okay?
always.
We need that.
That's
All
fine.
right.
Dia's
Yeah.
kind of unconcerned about her modesty, except that it's embarrassing the others, but she will get dressed pretty quickly.
Nissa didn't really seem to care. She's just like, you might want to get dressed.
Yeah,
Nissa
I do feel unequipped with my stuff. All right.
Yes, I mean,
Um,
honestly, right now you're unarmed, you're unarmored, you're victim to the very first thing to come by. Honestly.
Well, not anymore.
Get back in uniform, soldier.
Right. I am armored again. I will wrapping up my ribbons on my arms and arranging the scarves around my shoulders. Yeah, did I manage to get any vials, or was that a complete failure?
It was a complete failure.
Bloody hell. No.
I'm also going to say that as the same time you kind of liquefied is when the body of the mimic does the same, sort of drains away into the cracks.
Yeah.
And falls down into the abyss.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
well.
So,
well.
what caused that?
Oops, so sorry, if I just...
The mimic, as Suzuki said, it seemed to have some sort of weird magic about it. Kind of like those berries you had, I think.
Was it from the bite that it gave you?
I don't know. Something. Yeah, Nis is right. Something about the magical properties of this thing did a weird on me, and
Well, a mimic is a creature entirely technically composed of liquid or acid, so probably by drinking all of those potions and stuff, it's just made it into essentially a wild magic, weird magic acid. So when it afflicts
changed
you,
its own nature.
yeah.
Interesting. Is there any? There's nothing left of the mimic. It's just liquefied and gone. God damn
Suzuki, whilst you were looking at the magic of the mimic, did you notice anything else magical nearby? The water, perhaps, or the candles, or the darkness?
No, I did not sense it. But this place is most definitely Candle Cliff. As the odd conversing back and forth, Dire, your superhuman senses suddenly hear a voice, a whisper that is within 120 feet of you,
Hmm.
and only you can hear this because of your strange, weird magic. It's almost as if your ears have just picked up on the tiniest little scratching sound, and this voice says, "Many ingredients, malleable,
What? Who said
in
that?
inside creature."
What are
Ingredients.
you talking about, Di?
Are you
I didn't
talking
say
about
anything.
the mimic? Who is that? You don't hear that? There was a voice. Can I tell where the voice is coming from?
Yes,
Okay.
because they cannot hide. It is coming from deeper within the crevices of this cliff.
Okay. I will
Let's
take. Yeah.
let's
I'm gonna
like
take my torch
watch
and
you
follow
from
the. Hmm.
yeah, head into the dark. Yes.
Follow the voice.
What voice? What are you talking
Who
about?
are
Where are you
you?
going?
Which creature do you mean?
Humanawama?
No, I don't know. I don't know. It's not speaking anymore, but I heard it. There is something here that spoke.
I'll just place a palm on Dire's forehead. You're burning up. I think after what happened, you've gained a fever.
I feel fine. Hello? Who's there?
That's what you heard, by the way, in case that sounded strange. Inside creature, not creature.
Oh.
Anyway, the voice came from somewhere nearby. It sounded like it was within 120 feet of earshot,
Mm-hmm.
and the creature doesn't seem to be. Oh, did you say you said hello? Didn't you?
Yeah.
um, you hear the sound. Sounds like they're saying too many words, too many.
Oh.
What? Do you know what that means? It said too many words.
Tanner,
Well, Mim mentioned something that spoke too many words.
Did you ever find out what does that even mean? Hello?
You hear,
What
as
did
you
Mim say?
say, as you say hello again, you hear a scratching sound once again. It's coming from somewhere behind this pile of rubble.
Do you need help?
Too many words. Too many words.
What do you want?
Too many. Too many words.
stay close, Tanner. We need to stay close in here. It's dangerous.
I need you to roll a wisdom save, Dyer, as you're saying this up against the rubble, such that they could hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You are confused for the next minute or so, and I'll tell you what that means in a second. But what you hear is these sets of words are getting even more discombobulated, such that these sounds are like just backwards and nonsensical. It's baffling to your mind, and it seems to assault it, and you are now confused. Let me just put that on you. Anyway, your allies are unsure what the hell you're doing. What are you
Okay,
saying?
I'm at this point just kind of babbling into the wall.
Tanner, what's
Okay.
Dyer doing?
It's a
Dyer?
voice. I'm talking.
You can't move or take actions this time. Let's see.
Tanner,
Yeah.
Tanner, you coming?
I can come down. What's going on?
Guys, something wrong with her.
What's happened now? Di, you keep on running off. You're almost getting as bad as Ember.
What do you mean? That is me. I don't run off ever. I stay close.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna
Here,
roll
there's a
another
creature
d10.
poison liquid.
Yeah, that's literally it. That's effectively what you sound like. I'm gonna also ask you to roll a D100 as well, and a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
And now you can take that with +3 now that I'm next to you.
22 and wisdom +3.
Ugh.
Ooh, 8. 8.
8. Okay, so you're still under this effect, and whilst you start babbling and putting these strange words together, your choice: laughing, screaming, or weeping. Because that's one of those is what Dyer is doing right now.
Oh,
I'm gonna choose
God.
weeping.
Yeah. Okay.
Cause that's
So-
yeah.
Dyer just begins uncontrollably crying. Tears are running down it.
So many all over. It's yes. It's yes. No. Far away.
What? This is what's happening. Is
Too
that?
many things I want.
Stop it!
Tuesday steps back and
So
says,
words, language, and I start speaking in Elvish as well.
Stop it!
Random words.
"This is what it sounded like. Those strange creatures." She looks left and right. There must be one of them nearby. She can hear it.
And I'm like still speaking to the wall and kind of got both hands against the wall, trying to listen and speak into the wall,
Ah!
into the crack.
Get a grip! Can I just whack her with my quarterstaff? Like try to knock
Yeah,
some sense?
you can do.
Knock
You
her.
can do so with advantage. Because technically right
Protection.
now... Okay, well, that's that's flat.
Okay. Say 12 to hit.
So
that doesn't miss.
I'd probably catch the quarterstaff and say, "What are you doing?"
Knock some sense into her, Tanner. She's losing her mind.
I'd like Dyer to make an attack against Ember, please.
Okay.
As you suddenly get the urge of maddening sensation, your world going dark. This creature with 4 arms, but in place of hands, they have long, sharp needles. And as this creature goes towards you, you instinctively whip out for a punch.
Ah!
I'm not sure if I can protection that.
No.
A shield comes up and blocks the blow, and I step back.
What are you doing, Daya?
Get down,
No.
my father stars.
What is going on with her?
I'm going to attempt
Fire
to
nighttime.
restrain Dyer.
You easily do so. She's incapacitated.
Okay, gotcha. So I'll just kind of like... Yeah, I guess if she's not resisting, then I'll just place her hands almost behind her back and just get a rope and tie them, not too tight, but enough.
There still seem to be these tears running down their cheeks. And Dyer, you can roll another wisdom save as well at the end of this.
I will also sit her down as well. Just say, "Talk to me, Dyer. What's going on?" That's a 19, by the way.
Okay, you start to come round, and the last thing that you could remember hearing before this maddening bout was too many words. Too many words.
Does that mean anything now that I've experienced it? Do I know what that means?
There were just too many words. Like,
Just too many words everywhere.
yes, everyone talking at once. Everyone. It sounded like a cacophony of sound. It felt like you was back in those misty tunnels with the gibbering mouthers, and you were going insane from how many voices were speaking at once, and how many words were being said at once. That's what it felt like.
I'm going to take a peek into the crack where Dyer was before.
Roll a perception check.
Perception. Oh, 12.
Too dark to hear to see anything, but you can just barely hear something like rock being kind of crunched as if something is rolling over the rock back and forth, back and forth. Like, yeah, it's a gravelly sound, like someone's rocking back and forth on gravel. That's about it.
I'm just going to point a finger towards the ground
Okay.
and I cast Firebolt. Just to temporarily, not to attack anything, but to light up the area so I can attempt to get a better
Yep, you
look.
fire in there and you illuminate the area. It's not directly on the other side of the rubble. Whatever that sound is coming from, it's around the corner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you
We
blast this area, revealing just a bit of blank stone and tunnel. It does look like a crevice in a corner, but it wraps around to the left.
Maybe we should
Oh.
keep going. I don't know about this.
I'll just
There's another tunnel leading to the north.
There was.
I'll just crouch down to Daya and just make sure she's okay. Just check her
I'm
over.
slowly coming out of it, but Tanner?
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, that was. You didn't hear that? All those the voices and the one in the wall. It said.
You tried to punch me.
So there was too many ingredients. Too many ingredients. There was a. It was, and the creature and the things they were saying, and I couldn't. Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing you were saying was making any sense. You were just saying, well,
There was so much going on.
too many words.
Too many words. Too many words.
Too many words.
What?
Yeah.
What are you all talking about? I want to know. Stop leaving me in the dark. Tell me what's happening. What's going on here?
As Ember speaks that fast, you again hear a voice. Too many words.
Okay. Shh. Everyone, just quiet down. For a second.
I don't
Too
like it
many
here,
words.
Di. I want to keep going.
Ember. Let's listen.
I don't hear anything.
Tell us your words.
Still too many.
Where?
Okay, you say where, you start to hear an answer back. It says, we. And then it stops.
Did it just say we?
Yeah, we. As in
Oh,
W.
we.
We? No. It says, we hurt. And then it says, evaded. And then it says, ooh. Hold on a second.
By the way, in this time, I will untie Daya.
Okay, yeah, cool. Run! And finally, exited.
How?
Okay. It says, help. Overcame. And then it says, wounded. Wound.
What hurt you?
It suddenly gets again kind of hurt by this saying too many things, And it's
Too
sort of,
many
you
words
can
already.
hear the skittering of their footsteps. They go further north,
Who you?
quite far. The footsteps echo into the distance.
Okay, I will have repeated all of those words back to Tanner.
Okay.
Like, just quietly, like, we hurt, evaded, ran, exited, help, overcame, wounds. What do you think it means? These are the same things that were driven insane the dwarves in the walls?
Well, I mean,
This
we
is
could.
Somehow they were hearing everything, all the words, every word, all at once.
We could ask them.
I tried. My questions seemed to hurt them.
Well, you seem to. Well, you look like you got more of a response when only saying one word.
Mm-hmm.
I could communicate with them telepathically so that we're not speaking words.
That might be that's a lot of words still. But
Yeah, that's a lot of
maybe
words even for me.
telepathically it will override any of the other words. And maybe if you only say
Maybe
one or two words at a time.
it's in the wall, Daya.
I'll point to where I heard it. It's here somewhere. I heard it.
Yeah, and then you heard it run off to
I
the
know.
And
north.
it's okay. So it's run off to the north. Can I still hear it? Do I have keen senses at all?
It's still within 120 feet, and you can hear
Yeah.
it rocking back and forth.
It was only for a minute though that I think I had it, so that's more the
Oh.
time.
Okay, then yeah, that's gonna run out by now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So I probably can't hear it anymore.
I can't do it anyways, just due to the limitations of the spell.
I was going to say,
It's,
potentially we could have done like a silence spell if Ember has it.
No.
You can point a message towards it.
Yeah, but 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
So
but
there
it
are
can
that.
also go through cracks and stuff. It would only be
Yeah.
if it was just solid.
Anyways, I don't know who. I don't even know the target. Like I don't know what it. I don't know what I'm pointing at.
again.
No, I wanna push my ear against the wall again and say, help. Help.
Okay. As you're saying help, you might perhaps hear a very faint whisper. It's clearly too far away. Your super senses have started to die down, but it definitely sounds like it's still nearby.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
I'm not
even
familiar with the target, so I can't.
no, I can't hear anything anymore. What?
You asked help, but it whispered something. It
Something
seemed
goodbye?
not quite, but you can't physically hear it from where you are. But it did sound like it was coming from the north still, somewhere, and around a corner.
Or maybe it has something to do with that bug, that insect. It seemed to change things. Is it still there, the insect?
Yeah, it's skittered around, maybe underneath one of the sitting on top of one of the mushrooms.
Anybody have a net or something to catch it with?
Not quite, no.
I think I might have a net, but I don't know if it's gonna be small enough for a.
Tanner, it's here when you come to another
For an
pile of
insect.
rubble. Similar to the one before, there are cracks in between the rubble that you can see through. But no sign of that creature. You get right up against it, pushing your eyes against the cracks. There is a tunnel that leads around north. You'd need to clear this rubble to get to it. He's clearly on the other side.
Is it kind of like movable?
Meanwhile, Nissa, you do find the path that leads onwards and upwards through Candle Cliff. You could try to, Tanner, yeah. It's not that thick, but it's... With some time, you could potentially get it cleared, yeah.
I don't know if we want to disturb this creature after what it did to you, Di.
I don't think it meant to do anything to us. To me, I think it needs help. Maybe. I don't think. I think whatever madness it has, it carries with it. It emanates it against
Uh,
its will.
as
But
much as
don't know if it intends to or not.
I'd love to lend it a helping hand, you know, we should, you know, get the hell out of here. This place is scary.
Yes, I think you're right, actually, Ember.
This
As
might
much
be
as I
the
would like
same
to help
creature.
it,
Sorry.
we might not be able to chase it. I don't know what it wants. I don't know what it means.
Well,
I don't want to end up
maybe
like the
Well,
wild demon dwarves.
maybe we can come
well,
back to it once we figured out.
they're not demon dwarves, but whatever. Let's just continue on. We're potentially going to have to come back this way anyway to find the chalice, so perhaps we can help it then.
That well
Right.
might be,
Cryptic Hydra. All liquids in cup empty.
Say again.
Over.
Cryptic Hydra or liquid in cup empty, right?
Yeah. And as you say, as you're the one who heard that and said that, Nissa, I'd like you to make a wisdom save as well.
+3.
Yeah. Within range.
What sort? Does this count as a charm effect?
No, he's not charming you.
Yeah. Well, I get a +10 overall because of that. So
Then that is a pass.
20.
And yeah, it's at the moment you said the word chalice was when you heard this response. And it sounded as though the words were incredibly strained. Like it took all of their mind and mental fortitude to be able to withstand that.
All right.
So Suze warns you. This is one of the same creatures I came across.
Hmm.
They attacked us. As I said, it speaks in riddles, maddening ones.
Hmm.
I don't think it knows what it's saying.
Yeah. Nis is considering this. No, it's almost like it came the same way we did. Cryptic Hydra, many liquids, empty. That's kind of what we had to deal with to get here. Potential. Okay, trying to go in sort of. Nis is going to say in equally slow and cryptic words, cup fill?
Many.
Then just say the word fill in a quizzical way.
Okay. As you put Phil, you hear the words. Forgotten. In. Lower. Level.
Hmm. Wait a minute. I've seen what you're doing, Chris.
Only a Fae would understand the maddening words of a creature like this.
Nissa?
Okay. Each word I'm saying, the words it spells out.
Oh my
it says-
god,
Oh
no!
my god.
You
Yeah.
fuck! Oh.
Yeah, I just started it with the last one, and then I looked
Oh
up
my
and
Alice. Phil.
Alice Phil.
Okay. Let me
Just say
try
like
to think.
who or what or where or
Do
something.
you know what's
Yeah,
really annoying? He's also capitalised where the word starts as well.
Yeah.
You
Oh my
bastard.
god. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that-
Where we hurt, evaded, ran, exited. Oh, you bastard.
So where how?
I mean. Okay. Oh god, I want to do this because it's technically one word, so we could get a lot of information by being mean to Chris.
Go ahead.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Oh my god.
No, I'm joking.
Roll
I'm joking.
initiative.
I'm not actually going to say that. Let
Okay.
me think.
Foxtrot Oscar.
The creature's
Um,
not word.
A question mark. Like, eh?
Eh?
Like that's as short as it gets. One letter.
I'm gonna say empty.
Entrance must pour till yielded.
I'll let you write that
Hey.
one.
Entrance must pour
Sorry,
till
yeah,
yielded.
hold on. Entrance must pour till you. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so I'm sort of getting something here.
Okay, so what liquid? So I ask liquid because that'll tell us what we need to put in.
Yeah, liquid.
Hold on.
I got a cue.
It's gonna be the cue that throws you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I'm
In
just
regards to
trying think.
what? Actually, no, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You just say liquid. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so,
It's like we're trying to query what liquid needs to be poured. I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Oh boy. Hold on. Black. In. Okay, this is the tough. This is the tough one. Okay. In.
Yeah, I hate the letter Q.
Just get a dictionary.
Oh, don't worry. I'm
See,
already in.
this just reminds me of my character that I had to play with the thesaurus
Quest.
out because
Oh, yeah. Unicorn.
Underdark. I knew the under. I can quest.
Inside.
Death.
Dungeon.
Dungeon.
Okay, so now they've mentioned a dungeon, this is
So this-
just sort of mumbling this.
The
to
whole
himself.
Feydark is probably the dungeon.
Forgotten in lower level. Lower level under dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Must...
Or is
Yeah,
the abandoned Drow City the under the Drow City? Is where we fill the chalice.
It did mention a Hydra though. Hydra too.
Yeah.
Well, they
Nissa
said
is
that
down-
was the Hydra's lair, right?
As you said,
Nissa is-
Carlos.
Yeah. So. Okay, so something. because there's that back there, fountain. Because I'm still immensely curious about this fountain back here, because that seems such a weird feature to have.
Fomorians! Occupy! Much. No, wait. You, occupy Underdark. Not true.
What? Not true, Fomorians.
Fomorians occupy Underdark. And then he pauses and says, not true.
So it's not true that they're occupying the Underdark.
Or
Are they not?
Alias. And it says, give me a second.
their spawn.
Oh. Nachos. No. Goddamn. Some stuff.
Netherworldlings.
Hmm. Non-detection.
Detection.
Wait, I forgot my heart. Yes, no. Wait, that's right. It's all good, yeah? Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
you just got the A and the I the wrong way.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe I just don't know how to spell, but
That's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. But yeah, he says Fomorians occupy Underdark. Not true. Alias, intelligent, non-detection.
So based
We
on
already
that,
knew
it
that.
seems no, but based on that, it seems like the Fomorians might not be aware they've been taken over.
Mm-hmm.
What's more interesting?
Non-detection.
What's more interesting is that he knows.
Okay, let's ask one of the more interesting questions that we can ask at this point. But let me just see if I can figure out a longer word for it so that I get more information. So,
You must know something. What did you say you was tracking down?
Mind
an
player.
aberration. Yes, a mind flare, we believe.
Say that.
Oh god, that mind flayer?
Masters! Imprisoned! Nosy Darrow! Fomorians leashed army yesteryear. Eventually run away.
Wait.
Masters imprisoned.
Oh.
God. Hold on, let me put
No,
that in.
that makes sense. That almost this thing's a bloody Darrow.
Oh, I can actually speak that.
Can you? So you
Yeah,
understood that? Yeah.
because
There
it
you go.
translated it from Dwarvish.
There you go.
Yes.
Zidero.
Mole.
Mole?
Yeah, I'm querying if the moles are like part of this, because if these things escape from something, then perhaps they know about the moles. Are they part of this same thing?
Okay.
Perhaps not useful information, but it'd be useful to know if there are more of those that we have to deal with. So
He's doesn't seem to give you more information on that, but he does say, Master occupies laboratory. Exit.
Okay. Laboratory?
Curses. Okay.
I think it's
Hold on.
spelled.
Damn it, I can't even spell laboratory myself.
I think it's spelled like that.
Thank
I
you.
think it's spelled laboratory in British.
Yeah, that's correct. This is
Yeah.
correct. So he
Yeah.
goes, light. Alternate. Behind. Over. He says, relocate. Above. Trench. And it says, obscured. It says, run. Ran. Yesteryear. So yeah, ran yesteryear.
It seems to really like that word yesteryear, so I'm going to say yesteryear.
Suzuze speaks to you before that and says, yesteryear, that seems so long ago. That it was before even my queen went missing. So yesteryear is in terms of Fae speech, means like a year ago.
Mm.
Oh my god, that's insanely long ago, but then...
Mm-hmm. A full 4 seasons passing is another way of saying it. But yeah, yesteryear
Yeah.
is the shortened
In the
version.
Fae, it takes a long time.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, long.
because a day can be like 100 years
Well,
in
it could be a
Europe
long
and all that.
time, or it could be just click like a snap of the fingers too. Think.
No,
Maybe
no.
not.
It's only if someone's powerful enough to maybe make 4 seasons pass. That would require
Oh.
all 4 Archfey working together to make a year go in the blink of an eye.
Oh, pardon me. Okay, my
Okay,
bad. I
But, I mean,
misunderstood.
that's close. Ember, if someone of the Archfey wanted a whole like 4 months to pass, they could do it, or 3 months to pass rather, just by the Archfey doing it, because that would be like the Court of Winter just going, and winter's over. But why would they do that? They want it to last forever. They want it to last as long as possible. That's when they're most powerful. So, anyway, yesteryear, if you want to say
Okay.
that.
No, in which case, I'm gonna say void.
Vacuous opens in a dungeon.
Ooh. Oh, we have to go into the void.
Dungeon. I don't think we said that yet.
Okay. Says delve under says north. Strains for a moment. Grove? North Grove, yes. It says entrance. Mm, uh, can't think.
Austin.
Oh,
Other. Obfuscated.
Obfuscated is a good one. Yeah, sure. Obfuscated. Obfuscated. And the last word will be hmm.
Nearby?
I was gonna say something like near, but it's not, it ain't near.
Helpful.
So if anything, it's the opposite of that. I mean, oh man, hold on. I'll give you a good word for this in a second. Give me a minute. It is gonna be.
Oh, this is so fucking crazy.
um,
I hate
yeah.
the Feydark.
hold on.
Riddles. Ember's going insane. I'm gonna start muttering gibberish too.
Says, oh, nobody. Nobody.
Obfuscated nobody. Hmm.
Dungeon delve under North Grove. Entrance obfuscated. And then nobody.
Maybe the grove is the mushrooms, the mushroom grove.
No, but it seems to suggest it's northward. And we're heading north, technically, aren't we?
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. This whole place has no real direction.
It's
We could be
important
heading
ways of
anywhere.
how he says it. So dungeon delve under North Grove. Entrance obfuscated. Nobody. So he kind of
Nobody.
separates the words
Right.
to try and make it make sense.
Entrance obfuscated. Nobody.
Under North Grove. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Delve under North Grove is an instruction. Entrance obfuscated. Description. Nobody. That's nobody knows where it is. Nobody is there, or nobody has found
nobody's
it,
fooled
or nobody
by it.
should go there.
Hmm.
Could mean
Nobody's
anything.
fooled by the
Hmm.
obfuscation.
Grove?
Okay. Now I noticed at this point you're saying a lot of words that have the same letters. Try and think of a letter. Try and think of a word that has different letters. I mean,
Okay,
that's
okay,
what the
so
Suze
let me
suggests
try.
anyway.
Hmm.
Can use G and R, like a G, R, O, and R so many times.
Yeah, let's think.
What's the?
Assistance.
It comes to the edge here and points to itself, as if almost questioningly. But you know what? Let's go back a second. So, assistance. And you can feel free to talk while I'm trying to figure this out.
I would ask
How about you ask Vathan? See what happens there.
What?
The name Vathan. Ask the name Vathan.
Or Raziel.
That's gonna
Raziel,
said
which
it.
is dead. That could be an interesting one.
Well, the thing is, I think this Vathan has something to do with what's going on here, because he he was playing tricks on Queen Una, playing tricks on the Lord of Bats. Maybe he's
is that the weird guy that
possibly
Nathan
Drow
was
character.
pretend-
I'm not sure.
the one that Nathan was pretending to be to test us?
Yes, that's Vathan. Was his name? I think we should ask about Vathan. Perhaps.
That's not a bad idea. I couldn't remember the name, so I was just like going over my head. I was just like, who the hell is that?
Yes, Vathan.
Yeah, we'll try that after this one's done, I guess.
Raziel has a Z, as Dia said. We should ask about specific characters that we know.
Things more specific than the chalice. Or
Yeah.
who else is missing?
Winter, technically. Right.
Velgath.
If they went missing yesteryear, that means they must have been missing before winter went missing, because otherwise winter couldn't have passed for that to have been a year. Right?
Yes,
Sorry, say that
that's
again.
reasonable.
It was a year ago, so it was a long, long time ago when he was describing that. But it depends on what he was describing. But oh no, yeah, no. The masters imprisoned Nosy Darrow. Fomorian's leashed army yesteryear eventually ran away. And this actually starts to be described further here, because he says, ailment seeped senses, intellect. Some triumphed eventually. And the last two words, he says,
Simile.
the last two letters, three letters in fact, he says, now, Creek. Everyone?
Right. Huh? Oh.
Assistance.
Oh. I
Requires
think I might see what he means. I think. Mm,
Too many things.
focusing on the word creek mostly, I'm going to say return. I realise those are letters we've used, but he seems to be like asking about the creek, so I'm
Creek?
wondering if he's saying that we should return there.
Are you saying creek or return?
I'll say. You know what? It's all one word. Pentacreek.
Okay. All right. Let me just.
But it's like quizzical note to see it on it.
So he says, possibly. Eventually. Not time. And then he says, after chalice. And then he says, ready? He goes,
It's almost like he's going to lead us to the chalice.
yeah, almost, yeah. In fact, he says, entrance, exit. He points down. In fact, you can't quite see him because you've all moved over here. But he is gesturing now that you're not saying so many words. He's actually come to the very edge of the rubble. He seems to be gesturing, and he points back the way you came and says entrance, and he points forward to where you're going, and
says exit.
Yes, actually, he does. He says exit. And then lastly, K. That's a tricky one. Okay, 1 second.
He decides to just bend reality and says climb, but spells it with a K.
As it happens, that is something he could say. But he's going to say, in a very saddened tone, he says, kind?
Well,
Thing is, if I say anything, he's gonna respond in with the thing. So I'm gonna say, I'll turn.
Just
to the
give him a
others
nod.
and I'll turn to the others and be like, it seems he wants to lead us down there.
super
To
curious
get
about
the chalice, we could go now, but we also have that deadline in order to deal with the Fomorian threat. So
I think we should, get that chalice stuff. Then we'll have it if we need it.
I think if the chalice is right here, yes. If we have someone willing to
Right.
lead us.
Okay, then I will say, with a nod and a slight positive, almost like affirmative action to my words, I'm going to say kindness.
Okay.
Oh, I want to know about Vathan. Breaking.
Do you mean Napier?
No, the person who Nathan was pretending to be. You know, the
Oh,
one
that.
we
Like-
sort of fought but didn't.
Okay. Yeah. So. It says.
I feel bad because I'm giving you like complex letters, but I'm
No,
not
no.
sure how else to respond.
Keep. In- Inclining. Oh, it's a strain for him to talk. That kind of is represented by this. It's clearly taking all of his mental fortitude to try and communicate. Like when something as simple as communication is an absolute strain for a creature, you know that he has undertaken some terrible trauma. And you can tell that just by the way he's like carefully choosing each word, trying to search his feelings and the emotions attached to them. So he says, keep inclining. And then says, nice, Darrow. And then he says, now, everyone, silent towns.
Okay, so he's saying to keep going forward, but to not speak, basically, because... Okay, so Nissa, because he says keep inclining, which this is an incline going forward, I'm guessing.
That's an ascent. That is an
Oh.
ascent. Yep.
Client sent thing or
Inclining means going at an incline, which means going
Decline.
down.
decline.
Decline. Is it? Decline?
Incline
Okay,
goes
so
up, decline goes
that-
down.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
Um,
In fact, you will put that as a question. Keep inclining. You put that as a question, as if to say, like, are you going that way? Are you going to keep inclining? At
You
this
getting all this,
point,
Cam?
Yeah.
at this point, you start to see a creature that he produces from, like, behind him. It's very weird. It looks at first like a tiny little bat, and he lets it slip between the gaps, tinier than even you, Nissa. And it flies in between the gaps here. There we go. And as it kind of lands here and looks around, it looks at you all. This is kind of what you're seeing. Oh crap! I clicked on it. Yeah, here we go. This is the strange creature you see.
What the
At
hell?
first, you think it might be a little demon, but it's actually a tiny fae. And you can hear him from behind says, "Baka," which is pronounced. It's spelled B-U-K. Yep, B-U-C-C-A. And as it appears there, you suddenly see the Darrow from the other side vanish into thin air, and then reappears by its side. And it's as if it used it to sort of as an anchor point to teleport to. And this creature steps forward. He is definitely a dwarf, but something about him has changed. His eyes are white, almost kind of glazed over, like milky white. His hair is unkempt and grey from either like dust down here or simply because of age. Well, you can't tell, but he definitely shows scarring uh, around his head, where he's potentially been clawing at his own mind, and you can even see there's areas of like lack of sleep, like massive bags under his eyes.
Dia's gonna hold her hand over her heart and bow to him ever so slightly in greeting.
Here he is.
Mm.
Okay. He looks at you and gives a shaky nod. His eye is twitching as well, you can tell.
Tanner, can you do a restoration or a heal on him?
I can give it a go. I don't know what to use because I don't want to use my spell slot. I mean, how much do you think he's going to need? I say from the other room.
I mean, he's been afflicted quite badly. I don't know if any of us have that kind of power in us.
I do. Suzuze steps forward. But I'm
Oh.
sadly out of magic for that. I restored your little hound's senses already
he's out.
today.
Okay.
But after some time, I may be able to help restore this one's mind.
Probably find what you need for that too.
Sorry?
Does it require diamonds to do that, or is that
No, that's innate spellcasting, so it
that's
doesn't.
awesome? Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I didn't anticipate you guys taking the Total as an ally, but here we are. And I forgot to do that.
Sorry. I'm very persuasive.
You thankfully brought like a solution with you, but unfortunately you do need time to rest in order to gain that.
Okay. Can I
You see the little thing flap and perch on his shoulder. He looks around at you all. He's clearly incredibly shy and timid, kind of backed up into the corner here. In fact, after a moment's silence, he just sets his little friend off
I
through
give
the
him a
crack again.
very distrust glance and a little bit of flame in both my hands, and just keep a firm eye on him.
He does not seem to be at all intimidated by the flame for some reason. Even though he does see it, he's just not bothered by it.
I'm not trying to intimidate him. I don't trust him, and his presence alone is putting Ember at an ease for sure.
Yeah. So rather than say anything, considering he said silent sounds, Nis is going to point back towards the darkness and sort of point down, and then just sort of looking as if, is that the way we need to go, sort of thing.
I think it's dependent on. You hear this telepathically, by the way, because again, Kotals can speak telepathically, and Nissa, you hear Susuze's voice say, "I think it depends on where you wish to go. Does this creature know where the chalice is?"
It almost seemed to be hinting at that, but I don't know for certain. Or it might just know the way to the lab.
It seems to me as though there are two different paths. And you have not yet specified which one he is leading you to.
That's true.
Will it be the Fomorians or the chalice. Perhaps say one of those words.
Can and he can speak telepathically. Does that mean that he can read?
No,
Like,
this is Suze talking to you
yeah,
telepathically.
that's what I'm saying. Would Suzu say, would I be able to respond to this?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay,
I mean, normally not, but yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna say,
You can whisper it to her.
yeah, so the group want to, well, at least Ember and probably Dyer want to go get the chalice, but that's not on a time-sensitive thing. The Fomorians are, because the others are meant to be trying to ambush them. So that's the way I would prefer to go, but actually, Suzuki, if I whisper to you, are you able to basically just tell them what I'm saying so that we don't worry our Darrow friend?
I believe this one's mind is addled as much as his ears. It is a mental affliction. As he said, what was it? Ailment seeped senses intellect.
Because I have intimate knowledge of aberrations from my favorite enemy, would I know about the Mind Flayer's relationship with the Darrow?
Roll me a history check. Yeah.
Which I believe I have advantage on because they're my favorite enemy.
Favorite enemy, yes. Yes, you would.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a feature that has come up much. Come on.
Well, you're... Wow, we're natural 20. Okay. So, while you're doing this, Grizz also goes up to the guy and goes... points to himself and goes... Grizz. And then points to him and goes... Name. And he goes... Nuvero Alf Motrolim Eredra.
Is that Dwarvish?
Oh. Grizz is so like, oh. Guys, he's got a really long name. So, yeah, that's his name.
Well, that was
Meanwhile,
convenient. That is, it was spelled out by the word, the phrase name.
Yeah.
how convenient, yeah. Crazy, right? Nissa, with a natural 20, you know that the Mind Flayers enslaved many races under their reign. One of them being the Darrow, who once were dwarves, but after madness and sorcery, they became slaves of the Mind Flayers.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so they were actually Duergar. Speaking of Duergar,
and
go on,
they were one of the the slaves that were kept with the Mind Flayers the longest, which is why they're as mad as they often are. I think.
I think we got a big mind flayer problem, guys, and that's
not fun.
So, yeah, I'll copy paste this for you in the chat. It's a lot of it, but effectively, it's summed up in those sentences. It's in Dwarvish.
You place it in a language that I cannot speak.
Okay. Yeah, let me try that again. So
I speak many languages. That's not one of them.
I can
Not that
speak
one.
it.
You do an undercommon, I can understand.
grandiose fantasies and rampant fanaticism have obscured the true origin of the Darrow, even amongst themselves. Most dwarves don't recognize Darrow as kin, but the legends that the Darrow tell about their race and their story are that the Duergar believe share a grain of truth. According to the Duergar, the Darrow descend from dwarves of a clan that were left behind when the others escaped the Mind Flayer's rule. They eventually also got away, but not before becoming demented and contorted. The Darrow tell their story of flight and survival in the Underdark, and the Fadark for that matter. The Mind Flayers aren't always the enemy, however, but deep But yeah, I'm gonna.
Like,
I'll
mind
copy the
flayers
rest.
aren't always the enemy.
No, the Darrow became their own enemy almost, because
Uh,
the story tells of two brothers, Delinkra and Delinkarazan, and how they cleverly betrayed each other so they could steal magical power from the evil they escaped. The danger the brothers are said to face in this legend varies depending on whatever foe the savants were led wants to lead their people against. But the essence of the story remains the same: a lesser of survival at a price, at any price, is an example of how deceitful and cruel can their virtues be. And of course, they suffer from a different kind of madness. And Suzuze puts her own 2 cents in and says, seems to manifest as some sort of mania, paranoia, but there are very many mental afflictions. Some of them had strange tics. Seems this one has a way with words.
yes, but probably not something that can easily be healed. I look to the others, and actually, considering this is mostly Dire related, Nizza is going to flip over towards Dire and whisper in their ear. Yes, so that not to trigger
Sure.
Nouvre. Okay, so um, how to phrase this? Right. I realise that the chalice is an important part of what we need, what you need to get in order to do whatever you need to do with the stars. But the chalice isn't going to go anywhere. But we have allies that are potentially getting into position as we speak to cause us the distraction to be able to get in to deal with the Fomorian leader. That's time sensitive. I personally would prefer to deal with the Fomorian threat as much as we can, then come back, but I understand that the group may have other thoughts, and providing we can do it quickly, I'm okay to do that, but you know, it's a risk.
You're breathing into the mic, Derek.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
I would leave it up to Daya. This is.
If we leave this place, what if we can't get back? What if once we've sealed the door and the war behind us, the chance for the chalice is lost?
You raise
Maybe
a
it's
point.
just around the corner, and maybe once we have that, we could be more free to fight the war. But I understand we're on a schedule. We have people waiting for us. What if this is the only chance?
I do understand what you're saying. What is our best?
Can we ask the Darrow how difficult it is to fetch the chalice? How
You can think of a way to phrase it, I suppose.
Challenge? Duration?
Time frame?
errand?
Diversion?
Worthwhile?
Quickly.
And of course, it matters not what word you say, rather the letters within the word. So, Suzuze says, just take the first word. What was it you said, Ember? Challenge?
Challenge.
Okay. Go up to him, say it.
No, I want nothing to do with this, creature.
Of course
Okay.
you don't. It's different.
Then I'll go.
Yeah, careful.
And I'll say, yeah. Challenge?
He looks at you, tilts his head, and he's kind of wondering what you mean in reference to.
And I'll say again, time.
Okay, well, says chalice, hydra, all liquids left. Says empty. And none. And then says, gone. Challenge, and then E. Entrance.
When we were dealing with the Hydra, was there ever a point where all 5 of them weren't present? Like after we activated them?
I'll let your party answer that question.
Say it again, James.
So obviously the Hydras that like the water weird we dealt with,
Yeah.
which seemed to be Hydra-like, got triggered and like one of them popped up. Other than before we got there, was there ever a time when none of them were in the water? Like none of them were visible?
No, one of them popped up, and then we experimented with. Oh yeah, I think there was actually several times. Yeah, we got them all back down. I think at one point, fairly certain.
So Suze shakes her head.
Oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe we always
Yeah.
had one then. We did get
Oh.
that chalice from that area, so that
Yeah,
Dias
so
carried around.
I'm wondering if maybe having them all up takes you one way, having them all down takes you another.
Yeah, so Suze confirms there was,
Okay.
to my knowledge, no time when when there was no Hydra's head.
So potentially, and annoying that I didn't save the document, we need to go back and
Save it. It's alright, I'll help you.
no, and but I didn't think we'd be going back there, so I was like, one time thing.
As in the echoed words of Mim, the Pentacreek has many paths that lead to many ways.
So, based on what this thing is saying, it seems like we need to have it where there are none of them
No
there in order to
Hydras.
open the entrance.
Yeah, I think so. Void of Hydras.
Void? Vacuous opens in a dungeon.
Yeah, if the chalice, using the chalice, if we make it a void of hydras, it will open the dungeon.
Yeah, the darkest place in the Underdark, or the Feydark,
Yeah.
which is where we find the Chalice of the Void, but the
-4 yielded.
Orbital
Void.
yielded. Cryptic Hydra, all liquids in cup empty.
Yep, that's. I think you're right,
We need
James.
to head back.
Yep, I think so.
Oh no, we just came all that way. Alright. What are we doing? Are we going up? Are we going down?
What are we gonna?
Oh, shit. Shouldn't have said that so loud.
Quiet, Chris.
Oh no.
Apology.
apology. Okay. Does whatever. Oh god. Okay. For the next 10 minutes, Grizz does whatever anyone tells him to. That isn't obviously self-destructive.
Grizz.
Not that anyone
Damn it,
knows.
no one. Yeah.
I feel compelled to do whatever you tell me to do. Apart from that, if you say apology, he just kind of nods.
Yeah, that was basically me just apologizing for Grizz.
Suzuze does speak and says, "You need to come to a decision. Fomorians or Chalice?"
Nissa sort of sighs and is like, we're putting this together, so as much as I want to do one thing, obviously the Fomorians rather than the other, I say that in this case we put it up to a vote. I'm voting Fomorians because that's time sensitive, but
I don't really worry about this fairy business. I vote for the Chalice. I'm here for Daya.
Okay.
yes, and as we've said before, Ember, the chalice is useless until you do the favor for Una, which is to deal with the Fomorians.
I got ways to fill the Chalice on my own. Don't worry about Queen Una.
Hmm.
You don't. Oh, okay. That's one way of going about it, I suppose.
It is.
Yes. Well, of course I'm going to worry about Queen Una. That's what you agreed to do.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
All right. Grizz and Tana. Oh, sorry. Let's go with Tana first. What did you vote?
I don't know. We're here for Daya.
So your vote's with hers, which
Yeah.
means that.
I understand the rush with the Fomorians, but I worry that if we leave, we won't be able to come back. And it seems like we have a clear way forward in at least one of these avenues. So yes, I vote for the Chalice.
Okay. Grizz grabs a hold of Kane. I'm on board. And you do see that Kane is clearly on the trail and is sniffing much more fervently than he has done in the past. And he looks upwards, into a tunnel in the distance and lets out a growl. Oh, don't get growly. Come on. And Grizz
Right.
pulls him by the collar in a way.
Can I roll an insight check on Kane to see if I can see why he might be growling?
Oh,
Yes,
there's no
yes.
need. You absolutely 100% realize Kane is smelling an aberration.
But based on his growling, does he basically seem like he's saying it's close?
Yes, closer than it has been. He's sniffing more fervently than he has been. Yeah, it is. It's close.
I look to Kane and Grizz and like, Grizz, can you ask Kane if it's getting closer to us before we head off?
Oh, yeah, he will take 10 minutes to comprehend.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
that took so long.
It takes
Oh.
10 minutes, but I mean, he's been doing it. What he used to say to me was, whenever we're not doing anything, he'd just be continually recasting it.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So he kind of most of the time has it, and that's why he has this kind of sort of bond with Kane rather than the others. So he does turn around and sort of kneels down and goes, you see, Kane's like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I need clothes.
Shall we leave before it gets here? Or do you want to fight?
Let's get out of
Is
here.
it getting closer? No, apparently it's there, but it's not coming. It's just somewhere near. It can't smell exactly, but something is over there.
Well, the
No,
hard
that,
decision.
that's another reason you were here, isn't it? To find an aberration?
To find ancient bones, we've already restored Kane's
Mm-hmm.
senses.
Yes, but you restored his senses in order to find
Oh,
an aberration.
my friend, the other, yes, he's
How do you still
I don't
remember
think we're
that
gonna
name?
I don't think we'll be finding him. The Arthur Squitch, he's long gone.
Mm.
I got that memory sometimes.
It's okay. He took something of mine, but he can keep it. I don't think I need it anymore.
So Suze turns again. Right. We're leaving then, I suppose. Back to the
Backwards.
Yes. Back to the Pentacreek.
Sometimes to go forward, you must go backwards.
I was literally about to say the exact same thing.
Then you are
Yeah.
indeed very wise as well, Emma.
I think it's just the Feywild is getting to me.
Please understand that Fadar has many dead ends. Do not feel discouraged, simply because there is a change of direction. He turns to the tall, stout dwarf and says, Chalice. And she says it almost sort of requestingly, or almost as if, like an order. And the Darrow nods and begins pushing forward. Nuvro beckons you all and says, Cryptic Hydra, or liquid cup. And you see the little fluttering creature accompanies him. And you begin to head back down the way you came to the Pentacreek. Thankfully, it doesn't feel like it's going to be that long. Because, you're going downhill. It always feels like you're going faster, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
got a bit of spider climb left. I'm not sure how much time.
You do. So if you want, you could easily climb down. Not a problem for Ember here. But Adara does begin leading you on. And Adara hasn't even asked for anything in exchange. But
Don't
he
you mean
believes there is
Alk?
something. Perhaps he believes there is something you can do for him later. Who knows?
Mhm.
Either
Yeah,
way.
owing somebody a favor in the Feywild's a bad thing, right?
Exactly.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Normally it does mean they want something back in return. But he hasn't asked or requested that yet.
But
So,
we do need favors, so yeah.
I will drag you back onto the map real quick. You head back through the tunnel. And if I'm in all honesty, you haven't actually traveled that far from the Pentacreek. And the fact that you've been to a place, sorry, the fact that you're going back to a place that you've already visited here in the Fadar, it's almost as if time speeds up. Traveling to somewhere of memory, especially one that is quite vivid and recent, is much, much faster. Such that you arrive back in the Pentacreek in almost zero time at all,
So weird.
simply because it is still fresh in the mind.
Hmm.
And to give you a little helping hand, I will actually reveal the other things on here. But I realize we're also coming up to time, so
I was gonna say if we're having to redo this one again, my brain hurt the first time round.
yeah.
So
And with the extra information, it won't be as difficult, but hopefully.
Plus 5 minus 1 4. Let's see.
I think that means 5 and 3 go up, 1 and 4 go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. But I think as they return back to the Pentacreek once more, we will end tonight's session as they somehow pieced together the fact that the Pentacreek, the Grove, the North, all of these words, even though all jumbled in a completely nonsensical order, they've still somehow found meaning behind the madness. So, hats off to them. Even as complicated and as frustrating as some of the things I put in front of you guys are, you still triumph every time. So, uh, kudos to you guys. But we will end here tonight because that's enough head scrambling for one session. And we'll see you next week. See you then. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Curse breakers.
Oh, yes.
Curse breakers.
Curse Breakers on Monday. Tomb of Annihilation as well. Last Resort Company, all coming soon, tomorrow. And then Friday with Roll for Story from the Claude Coast. Tune in then.